Hello, everyone. I'm Metis Balaska, and welcome to the stream. So then, we are getting back into Persona 4 Arena. Yes, we are finally doing it. And we'll probably be finishing the Persona 4 story today. We'll see how that goes. I don't remember how long the story is, but if we are, we will jump right into the P3 story. So yeah, let us get right to it. And we're fighting Shadow Igus. Who did I pick? We're going sisters.
Finally!
You have a strong heart. You need to move.
You're in trouble now.
Congratulations. That was a superior performance.
Bye-bye. The fake Iga-san begins to melt away. As everyone runs towards Mitsuru-san, I think about what the fake Iga-san said. I would have thought you could understand my master, Sho Minazuki's desire for solitude. What I sense from Sho... Hey, Ayumu, welcome to the stream. How's your day? What I sensed from Sho when I met him was an intense, insane hatred for everything in this world. What could have pushed him so far that he decided to pursue an outrageous goal like destroying the world?
Mitsuru-san!
Where am I? Labrys, you came.
Mitsuru-san, are you all right?
Yes. But aren't you all a bit too close?
Mitsuru-san comes to, and we all look into her face. She seems pretty exhausted, but she does appear to be fully conscious. Apathy took over, yikes. Well, I hope you can relax.
I'm so glad. I'm sorry I'm late. Jeez, look how beat up you are.
Thank you, Labrys. Narukami, I thank you and your friends as well. But first, I must apologize. I said I would guarantee your security, but see how that turned out. We had almost identified the culprit, but...
What are you saying? You don't have to apologize now. Nobody cares.
I just remembered. I forgot to plug in my phone, and I want to make sure it's charged. While we wait for Mitsuru-san to recover, we share what we learned so far with her. About this town, about Sho and Minazuki, and about her plan their plan to call something terrible down. Her Jesus.
Sho Minazuki, huh? How ironic that he would mimic his father's actions.
All right. According to Naoto's account, when she and Labrys met Minazuki for the first time, Minazuki called the Shadow Operatives the ones who killed Sho's father. Going by what Mitsuru-san just said, I'd say she knows something about who Sho is. Maybe she can give us the missing piece of the puzzle to crack this case. That is, apart from the mystery of who or what Sho is trying to summon.
I see. Shuji Ikutsuki was his...
Mitsuru-san slowly closes her eyes and nods at Naoto's murmurings. Shuji Ikutsuki, is that the name of Sho's father?
The Kirijo group once had a branch specializing in shadow research. It was the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Laboratory, Ergo Research for short. My grandfather, Koetsu Kirijo, provided Ergo Research with a vast budget to perform various experiments over many years. Experiments like Labras and Igus, anti-shadow suppression weapons with humanoid bodies that harbor personas, as well as countless inhumane experiments, such as creating artificial persona users through suppressants.
Mitsuru's expression grows even sterner. The damage that the Kirijo group left behind, so their cursed legacy is why the damage that the Kirijo group left behind, so their cursed legacy is why Mitsuru-san and her shadow operatives are so devoted to their duty of exterminating shadows. That read weird to me for a while.
Sho Minazuki. His name was recorded in the Ergo Research Archives as the youngest test subject. Shuji Ikutsuki was the researcher of record. Afterwards, Ergo Research was dissolved in an explosive accident, burying their research. But in the confusion, Ikutsuki saved some of it.
And that included Sho Minazuki.
Yes, there's more to the story, but I've confirmed this much in what we've deciphered thus far of Ikutsuki's personnel file. Sho Minazuki seems to have been Ikutsuki's favorite test subject.
Test subject? But he's a person! How could he do such a horrible thing?
The Kirijo group of the time was an evil place, suffused with his arrogance.
Yeah, Mitsuru's granddad was kind of an ass.
It isn't hard to imagine how he was treated with Ikutsuki in charge. Minazuki was raised in a solitary environment, never interacting with anyone.
I mean, we saw what happened and when whatchamacallit. We saw what happened with Labras in the previous story mode.
I suspect his experiences from that time greatly affected the development of Minazuki's current personality.
For the first time, Mitsuru seemed genuinely distressed. There's a lot on her shoulders. She wants to put an end to the scars on history. The scars on history that the monsters of the Kirijo group have left in their generation. But she's not alone. I'm sure Mitsuru-san's companions will keep supporting her, keep sharing in her burden as they walk alongside her.
Hey, Mitsuru-san. These experiments they did on Sho, were they really related to the Plume of Dusk?
That's correct. The central thrust of the experiment was to embed a plume of dusk into Minazuki.
No way! So that's what the Minazuki personality is?
Just as Labras and Naoto had thought, a plume of dust was implanted in Sho's body, which seems like it gave birth to a new self within him. That's one mystery down, though it's not hard to imagine how cruel Shuji Ikutsuki's experiments were, since he didn't care at all about what was sacrificed for them. The thought must have been reminding Labras of her own past, since I noticed her meekly lowering her gaze. Yosuke hastily speaks up to lighten the mood.
Can I ask you something? Do you have any details about whatever it is he's trying to summon?
No, I know nothing about that. But if it's similar to what we encountered at Tartarus, it's nothing welcome.
That was only to be expected, since Sho's desire is to destroy the world.
As we all share in a sinking feeling from that ominous prediction, a familiar voice echoes in everyone's mind. It's a persona communication.
Senpai, I finally got a hold of you. I'm so glad you're safe.
Voice. Rise! you're all right.
Mitsuru-senpai, are you okay? I was worried, you know.
Is that you, Yukari? You came. I'm sorry, but no. Thank you. You're always such a help to me.
I'm fine too. Kikuno-san has evacuated to safety as well.
Yamagishi, thank goodness. It seems I've also put you in danger.
After we finish confirming that we're okay, Rise raises her voice, as if remembering something. Since we have no volume control on the Persona comm, everyone flinches a little at once.
Oh, I forgot to connect you to Kanji and the others. Senpai, Teddy and Igus are safe too. Just a sec, I'll put you in contact with them.
She forgot something that important. After some time, we hear the familiar voices echoing in our mind and again.
Yukiko? Is that you? I'm so glad. Kanji-kun and Teddy are fine too. What about you, Chie? Are you hurt?
No, I'm okay. I got a few scratches, but it's no big deal.
Huh? Are you sure you're okay?
Yo, senpai! Sorry we're late.
Sensei!
Good lord.
Ah, ugh. Damn it, Teddy! I told you to quit rubbing your runny nose on me.
They never change. Even in a situation where we can't communicate properly, the rest of them are still in our thoughts. Because we all believed in each other, we are all gathered here now without anyone telling us to do so. That's when I recall what the fake Iga-san said to Labras. I would have thought that you could understand my master, Sho Minazuki's desire for solitude. If what Mitsuru-san told us about Sho was right, then not only did he never meet anyone who could understand his burden of solitude, he never even had the chance to form a relationship with anyone. So in that respect, there's not much separating Sho from us. Even when one person, if even one person had reached out to him, couldn't he have had a chance to change too?
Sister, you came to rescue us. Thank you. I'm all right.
Igus! Whew. I was really worried about you.
Man, it's getting crowded here. You guys really know who's who?
You're the only one who doesn't, Junpei-san. Well, there are a few I haven't personally met yet either.
It seems everyone's all right. You have the devil's luck.
After both our investigation team and Mitsuru-san's shadow operatives are done being relieved that the others are safe, we have a big round of introductions. But the more I learn about them, the stranger their group seems. A costume hero, a baseball coach, a middle school student, and a dog? You got a friggin' shadow in your group. Don't even. It's really surprising to see how many other Persona users to see so many other Persona users, but these ones are, well, unique.
Quite a spirited crowd. But don't let your guard down yet. The battle isn't over.
Mitsuru-san smiles upon saying so. It hasn't been long since we met Mitsuru-san and her people, but I can tell just by overhearing their exchanges that they're bound by a strong trust, just like we are. With the battles behind us for now, everyone naturally starts having a friendly chat. I decide to take the opportunity to bring up what I was just thinking about with Mitsuru-san.
Son, I'd like to talk to you about Sho.
You wish to save him yourself. Is that what you were about to say?
Huh?
It's written all over your face. It would hardly be a surprise to hear you say it. There are many things to sympathize with regarding Minazuki's past. He too is a victim of the Kirijo group's dark side. Still, that does not give him license to endanger the world or hurt people. It doesn't change the fact that he is an enemy who must be defeated. Yet, you still wish to save him, correct?
Yes.
If Sho wished for the world's destruction because of the solitude forced upon him, then we know how to save him from that. Mitsuru-san lets me finish, then fixes me with a solemn gaze.
Things must be settled with Minazuki. We should brace ourselves.
Right, we can't lose this one.
Indeed, it's true that our enemy is powerful, but no matter how far apart we are, if we keep believing in each other, we'll always come back together. And that gives us great strength.
Another earthquake!
Uh-oh. Isn't it getting stronger?
Huh? This is... Careful, everyone. It stinks of shadows.
What?
Everyone instantly tenses up. The relaxed mood is shattered, and Rise raises her voice as if bracing herself.
This can't be.
What's wrong, Kujikawa?
It's shadows. Countless shadows are gathering at this tower. What? I'm picking up shadow readings. 20, 30. They keep coming. We can't stop them. The shadows are passing through here. It looks like they're heading to the top of the tower. Wait,
What's wrong, Rise?
is this? The shadows that were already at the top are merging together.
Shadows are merging together? Something tells me the summoning that Shaw mentioned has already begun, and a quick glance around tells me everyone else is thinking the same thing. Actually, I need to change something quickly. I need to change this because this isn't a blind playthrough. Not yet, anyway. When I look down from the edge of the tower, the horde of shadows has already swallowed the ground and is now trying to cover this tower. This is bad. Rise's group is still near the tower's base, and Kanji's group is somewhere around the middle. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before the shadows reach them. What do I do? Should I call them here at once, or should I head down? To them? But if we do that, then we can't do anything about the summoning that's going to happen any minute.
You have to go, Senpai. We'll hold things here.
Huh?
What are you surprised for? Of course we'd say that. You're the ones closest to the top.
You're right. Mitsuru, this is no time to fool around. Leave this to us so you can get to the roof.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
What? But
Mitsuru Senpai, you can't lose focus. Don't worry, we're pretty tough.
Yukari,
Yeah, just give Mitsuru 5 minutes and she'll be tip-top shape and able to take those things out instantly.
All right. It's a bit lonely here, but I'll do my best for your sake, Sensei.
Teddy.
Go, young man. There's no time to be indecisive. The bases are loaded, so go out swinging.
You're 2 years older.
Junpei.
Mitsuru-san raised her head and looks at us. Her expression is pure determination. You can see she has made up her mind to trust her companions, and that's that.
All 3 groups, separate and intercept the shadows. Yamagishi, Yukari, Kujikawa. Head to the lower levels. Destroy the enemy, but take caution. Akihiko, work with those on the middle level and block as many shadows as you can. Don't bother giving chase to whatever gets past you. We'll remain here and intercept the shadows as Narukami advances to the highest point of the tower.
Me?
You're the least injured of us all, and considering your skill, you're the most logical choice to send.
You also happen to be the main character of the story, so...
Please go, Senpai. We'll protect this place.
Yeah! I'm getting psyched. Go on ahead, Yukun.
Go get him, partner. Make sure you pull this off for our sake.
I'm counting on you, Yukun. You can't let Sho get his way. Go put an end to this.
With that, all of us here, and probably the ones still on the lower and middle levels, not at once. Everyone gives me a supportive push, and I take a step forward.
You understand, right? Don't do anything reckless. And
I understand. I'll come back. If I can't do it, then I'll ask for help.
I kind of love.
Raining on your friends after all.
I kind of love how they didn't change back to the scene of the background, and they changed it with they just like kept it on this graphic with the shadows, so like it looks like the shadows are already here.
No matter how many times I fail or make mistakes, I can do anything with them. I won't give up.
I knew someone once who I suspect thought the same way.
For an instant, Mitsuru-san's eyes are hazy, thinking about something or someone else. But the moment passes, and at once her steely eyes are turned to the countless shadows surrounding us by climbing the tower's outer wall.
Clear a path for Narukami. Is everyone in place?
Yeah!
Yes. Of course.
Leave it to us.
Mitsuru gives the order, and everyone readies themselves to move. The shadows appearing one after another seem intent on completely swarming the stairs I'm on my way to now.
Once we get the signal, everyone attack.
Here goes. 1, 2.
On Fukasan and Risei's signal, everyone dashes towards the whirling torrent of shadows. They form powerful shockwaves that come together, pushing back the limitless mass of shadows, mowing them down. A path clears in the center of the black wave, and I run towards it as fast as my legs will carry me.
We're all counting on you.
It's not just everyone in the investigation team. Right now, the hopes of Mitsuru-san's shadow operatives are pinned on me too. I can't waste the opportunity they gave me. There's no time to hesitate. Wait for me, everyone. Before the battle. I mean, only place to go, right? When I come to, I'm surrounded by blue. I'm seated in the usual place, in the usual room. Why did they summon me now? Actually, it's probably because of my situation that they summoned me. There's no need to be impatient. I already know that this place exists outside of time.
You seem surprisingly calm. Your third ordeal has arrived. Do you think you can overcome it?
Did I say impatient or impatient? I don't answer. Whether I can do it or not isn't the question. I have to do it. As if seeing my determination, Margaret gives me a satisfied smile.
I see. Your mind is already made up. And that's a fitting answer for you.
What is Sho trying to summon? How is he going to use the persona fragments?
Just as I'm about to ask her to tell me if she knows, Margaret cuts me off.
All I can do is watch over your journey. What is happening in your town must be ascertained with your own eyes.
Honestly, I knew she'd say that. I can only shake my head and smile. Instead, I decide to ask something that's been bothering me all this time.
Is Marie all right?
Marie is fighting desperately right now. Calamities in your town directly affect her. Your actions will decide the girl's fate.
Just as I thought. She seemed so weak when I saw her because the abnormalities in this town are affecting her. Looks like I've got one more thing to fight for.
One last thing. The young man who rejects everything and wishes to destroy the world? You hold the key to his salvation, depending on what you choose. you may be able to awaken him as an official guest.
Show as a guest? What's that supposed to mean? Just as I'm about to ask, the scenery distorts and becomes hazy. When I come to again, I'm by myself, standing about halfway up the stair to the top of the tower. I'm sorry, we appear to have stepped into Blaze Blue. The long stairway finally comes to an end, and I step up into the arena at the top of the tower. Strange patterns are inscribed into the floor, and all around me at regular intervals are these three pillars. This was carefully arranged, much different from the distorted places we've seen up to now. Up above, a large vortex glows ominously, swallowing the countless shadows gathered there. And directly underneath is a giant crystal of some kind. Whatever that shining emerald thing is, it's floating in midair. And there, right beside it, Sho and Adachi-san. I can't help but tense up, but on closer inspection, Adachi-san is on one knee, like he's kneeling before Sho. Huh? What's happening? Neither Sho nor Adachi has noticed me. That should be have noticed me. I hide behind the pillars and slowly get close enough to make out their voices.
Bastard, what are you thinking? You know how important this thing is. Are you trying to ruin my plan?
Important thing? Plan? That must mean the floating object over there is all the persona fragments they took from us. Yeesh, Sho was just looking down on Adachi until all of a sudden he kicked up at his body. Adachi-san's knocked back from the direct hit, and he gives a pained groan. What in the world is going on here?
That's what I said. I tried to destroy those persona fragments by striking when I saw the chance. You worthless rat. I knew you weren't worth shit. But to think you were biding your time for this. Well...
Did I hear that right? Adachi-san wasn't Sho's accomplice. He tried to catch Sho off guard to destroy the crystal? Then Adachi-san was trying to prevent Sho's plan from the very beginning.
You asked me before. You said, don't you hate this world too? Huh? That's right. Well, you were just trash I was gonna use from the start. Once everything was ready and I cut up the rest of them, I was gonna kill you slow. Still, I at least gave you the chance to have some fun, you piece of shit. I was gonna let your crap slide until I showed you the end of the world you never got to achieve. Why not? Right? Don't think we're the same, you little brat. What? What was that? You think the whole world hates you just because someone didn't treat you right. You're nothing but a little kid throwing a tantrum. No, I seriously hate this world. Don't put me in the same shoes as a half-assed brat like you. Please. You're so finished, you bastard. I'll kill you just like you want. Sure, I'm lame. Whatever. But you don't know yet, do you? Those guys don't play around. You better be prepared. Die, you piece of shit.
Sho grabs Adachi by his collar and points his sword at the detective. I bided my time long enough. I was hoping for a better opening, but I'm rushing now.
Stop it, Sho!
Sho glares at me while breathing heavily. There's nothing but hate in his stare.
Oh, you're early. Way to ruin the moment.
Is Adachi-san safe? I glance to check on him and feel a slight bit of relief. He's hurt badly from the beating he took at the hands of an agitated show, but it doesn't seem like him to be life-threatening.
Just to be clear, I didn't do it for you guys. I just wanted to set things right for myself.
I know, you're not that type of person.
Adachi-san came here to honor his promise in his own way. Finding that out was more than enough for me. The load on my chest that has been there all this time is gone, and I actually feel good now.
Such a know-it-all. It's not very attractive.
With that typical bit of sarcasm, Adachi-san falls unconscious. That's when Sho suddenly barks a strange laugh.
What's so funny?
What are you guys getting all desperate for? It's disgusting. It makes me sick. I hate it when people get all goody-goody. I'll destroy everything! Everything! I'll destroy every...
I think he popped the blood vessel. It happened all of a sudden. Like a machine blowing a fuse, Sho's enraged rant stop and he falls silent. His body goes limp, like a marionette whose strings have been cut, but eventually it spasms and stands eerily straight.
He's getting too worked up. It's a bad habit of his. You must be the other one, Minazuki.
I didn't think you would put up this much of a fight. Perhaps I should have killed you back then after all.
Minazuki, you said then that you did all this to grant Sho's wish, but this isn't the way to save him.
And I said that's your perspective on the matter. All I'm here for is to grant this boy's wish.
Do you still not get it? That's not Sho's wish!
Are you delusional? I know the boy. I know of his hatred and his suffering. His father, Shuji Ikutsuki, abandoned this boy. He used the child for his own desires and then discarded him when he was as good as dead.
Shuji Ikutsuki.
This is the world that abandoned him. That's why this boy came to detest everything about this world and wished for it all to disappear.
No, Sho just doesn't know yet. What he's been through isn't all there is to the world. It's not too late.
Silence. I know what I am. I am a shard of one who brings about death. If this boy wishes for the death of all, then I will use my true nature to destroy this world.
That's not it. I can tell Sho's hatred does run deep. Maybe he did wish for everything in this world to just disappear. But that's not what he truly wants deep down. Sho adores the bond between people and yearns for that himself. But because he can't have it and the world doesn't accept him, he's had to live with such dark emotions he has no idea how to deal with. He just doesn't know how to express himself. Minazuki was born from the plume of dusk, so he's just responding to Sho's darker desires. He's fixated on granting Sho's wish to destroy the world. That's not what Sho really needs.
Sho's sake too. I will defeat you.
Very well. Come and fight.
Here we go.
Finally!
I was trying to do an all-out attack and I forgot how to do it. The strike with all my strength behind it, it hits Minazaki, and he hunches over. I take my sword back in hand and swing it with all the power I can bring to bear. Minazaki's knees buckle as he falls to the ground, or so it seems.
What?
Minazaki won't fall. He supports his trembling legs with his own arms, and then keeps glaring at me as he tries to ready his sword again.
Not done yet. Minazuki, why are you trying to grant Sho's wish? A foolish question. I awakened within this boy. It's only natural for me to grant his desires.
So he kept a cool head thus far. Minazuki barks his response at me. He keeps trying to stand, despite his injuries, and all I see is the strong will of someone determined to protect what's important to him. Minazuki, you still don't understand? You're just like us.
Minazuki, you are strong. You don't realize it either. Your strength.
It's found on the strength of your bonds.
On the strength of your bonds. I don't know exactly what you are. Since you were born from a plume of dusk, maybe you really are a shard of one who brings about death. But no matter how you hurt, or how badly you're about to fall, the power that lets you stand up for someone else, that comes from bonds. Impossible. I am this boy's. No one lives alone. You protected Sho and supported him all this time. You should know that by now.
That's right. No one can live by severing ties with other people. If Sho doesn't know how to do that because of the life he's led, then we just have to show him how. I'm sure even Mitsuru-san and the other Shadow Operatives will accept Sho, just like they did with Labras. It's such a simple thing that even the fake Aga-san figured it out, so there's no way that you can't see this, right, Minazuki?
I see.
What's with this sappy drama?
You're...
Aha! You must be Sho-chan's Minazuki-kun. You're disqualified from the P1 climax. Time for you to make your exit!
Kagutsuchi, you bastard.
Curious.
Kagutsuchi?
For the record, Kagutsuchi is the god of fire in Greek, not Greek mythology, Japanese mythology, Shinto myth. He's basically he's basically he's basically like the Japanese equivalent of Hephaestus, I believe. But unlike he was actually kind of a villainous character, tied to Izanagi.
Did you think I didn't know? Of course I did. I knew from the very beginning about your idea to use the power left inside a Dachi baby to suppress me.
Dachi baby.
So you deduced even that.
Oh, and...
The General Teddy before us. No, this thing that Minazuki called Kagutsuchi gives me a look that to make some unexplainable fear rise in the pit of my stomach.
You, Narukami, you defeated this fool, so you're the champion of the P1 Climax. Congratulations! Your prize is your execution.
It happened, and all in the blink of an eye. Minazuki, who should have been behind me, disappeared, and in the next instant, he was closing in on General Teddy. And then the blade he was holding was run through General Teddy's body.
Ow! What do you think you're doing?
What do you intend to do with this boy, Kagutsuchi?
Like, that's how you know it's a god. Get stabbed with a sword, just ow.
What am I going to do? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to kill him. I'll grant that brat you're so fond of what he wants. A world of solitude. But I'll be the only one there. It will be a world all for myself, where only I exist.
Yep. General Teddy's mannerisms change, and he effortlessly hoists up Minozaki, who just pierced him with his blade. The ominous, hate-drenched voice sounds like it's coming from the depths of hell. What in the world is this thing?
This body had reached its limit anyway. It's only a fate made with shadows, after all. It was never meant to support itself for long. Fortunately, a horde of shadows to create a vessel, and persona fragments to control it have been gathered.
What?
Well done, my puppet. It is thanks to you that everything came together so splendidly. All that's left is to fuse that breath with the shadows as a base, and then devour the persona fragments to inhabit my new corporeal form.
Who'd have thought the bad guy was actually a bad guy? Also, I've been putting off the obvious joke. Curse your sudden yet inevitable betrayal.
You, Narukami. I was born when this town was enshrouded in fog. I have quite the connection with all of you.
What?
I pay no heed to others. I am the collective will of those who abandon all connections and strive to live only for themselves. I incinerate everything. I will mob, murder, trample, and cast you humans down into the depths of despair. My name is Hino Kagutsuchi, one who kills all who live in this world.
What called itself Hino Kagutsuchi laughs, and then a scarlet fog, again comparably thicker than before, pours out of General Teddy's body. The fog enters the helpless Minozaki through his eyes, ears, and mouth, and the wounds he sustained during the battle.
Bastard. Show!
As I try to rush over, General Teddy's body, which is now an empty husk, turns to a black chunk of shadow and starts to bubble as it disintegrates. At the same time, what used to be Minozaki turns its evil red gaze towards me.
How I love to hear that cry, you Narukami. What do you think? I had lent this brat my power, but my full presence is a bit different.
You're Kagutsuchi!
It has immense power, far beyond what Sho used when I faced him. My entire body is being crushed by my will, and my joints scream out in pain. Even my lungs are compressed, preventing me from breathing normally.
Don't worry. I won't let you die so quickly. You will live to witness my advent, and will be the first sacrifice to my power.
Well, aren't we a little egotistical?
I won't let you do this!
Your nerve astounds me, but I wouldn't be so sure. Your allies are about to be overwhelmed by the flood of shadows. You all fought so long within this red fog, just as I planned, and you are exhausted to your very souls. You have no hope of defeating me now. My first puppet was quite useful for that purpose. I had directed it at you with the aim of harvesting your personas, but...
You mean Labrys?
Ah, is that what you call it? Had I taken your shadows for my own, their own wills would have made them less obedient than I required.
I learned that in the previous battles. Thus did I prepare this fog and my new scheme to carve away at your personas. Personas are the suppressed strength of heart. Nothing is better suited to suppress the will of shadows than that.
So that's why!
Now is the time for despair. This new form that you have given me. Behold it!
I can take him. The giant shadow that shows itself through the severe quaking and gusts of wind slowly approaches, all while spewing out fluids that look like red, stagnant blood. This is the vessel we ended up giving Hino Kagutsuchi, a giant form made from the fusion of countless shadows, a real monster. This is the body it was gathering. Shadows to put. It was gathering shadows to put together, but.
Everyone, lend me your strength.
I will defeat this monster and return to you all. Final battle! Ow. What? Ow. That was close. I was doing all the wrong things to defend against them.
Impossible. What power is this? How can one human's power alone be enough to best me?
But yeah, I love this boss because, like I said, I love big RPG set piece bosses in fighting games.
Hino Kagutsuchi. That's what holds you back. The power I wield. The power we wield. It will never succumb to someone like you!
Silence, pest! I will not lose! I am stronger than anything!
Hino Kagutsushi's giant arm swings up high into the sky. This isn't good. If this place takes a direct hit from that enormous thing, never mind sweeping me off my feet, it could destroy the entire tower with all the quaking.
Suna!
Faster than I can call my persona, the other Izanagi flies towards Kagetsuchi from behind, slashing at its giant arm and knocking it back.
Adachi-san? What are you doing? I set everything up perfect for you, and you still didn't finish it off before I woke up.
The way he scratches his head and rolls his eyes, without a doubt, that's the Adachi-san I know. He did he save me? Up until now, he just dropped hints for us here and there, never doing anything to help us out directly. Seeing me surprised at the small change, noticeably only to those who know him, Adachi-san furrows his brow. He's displeased, in an ever so slightly embarrassed way.
Hey, what are you spacing out for? I don't have time to waste either. So let's hurry up and put it into this.
Right.
I can feel it. The two Izanagis responding to each other and melt into one. I've never felt this fusion of conflicting powers before. They eventually coalesce into a sword, which launches itself toward Hino Kagetsuchi's enormous roaring form.
Izanagi! Nagatsu Izanagi!
That's a badass CG. The giant sword, formed with the torrent of powers, pierces Hino Kagetsuchi and disperses its body into fragments.
Kagetsuchi! It's over!
And this is rather true to the myth. See, the Hino Kagetsuchi was the child of Izanagi and Izanami, but when Kagetsuchi was born, Izanami died in childbirth, and Izanagi took revenge, as it were, by killing him with by running him through with his naginata.
Impossible. How could I fall to this trickery of fans?
Hey, look, it's full moon tonight. After Hino Kagetsuchi's body crumbles away, the red fog disappears little by little from our sight. The area is covered in silence. The night sky turns back to its usual color, with a beautiful moon shining in the sky.
Your congratulations on winning the P1 Grand Prix.
The sudden voice surprises me, and I turn around. Standing there is a woman in deep azure-colored clothes. Adachi-san's nowhere to be seen.
What are you doing here?
Though what you just defeated now was different in form, it appeared to be another embodiment of man's consciousness that wishes for death. And suffice to say, I had my own reason to witness its end.
Your own reason, huh?
That is correct.
I don't really get it, but she probably means that she came to witness Hino Kagetsuchi's end. It's weird that they never actively mention Minato, the main character of P3, but I can kind of get why they're trying to keep it ambiguous, because well, Yuki is the first name, I believe. Minato Yuki. But like, in but like, I believe they're keeping that a bit ambiguous, because as a P3, it could be like either or. P3P, I mean. It's fine, since it's over now, but couldn't she have at least helped out a bit? Not that I'd ever say anything like that to her face. I've heard before that Elizabeth has her own wish, that trying to grant it was why she left the room. Maybe she's cooperating with us in her own way.
By the by, you. This tower will disappear momentarily.
Huh?
That's right, I completely forgot about that. This tower is a transient thing and that appeared in the red fog. And so now that the fog is gone, this place will go back to its usual self, Yasugami High.
Can I ask a favor, Elizabeth?
A favor? Depending on what you ask, I'll have to demand payment.
I'm not sure about that. But can you please send all my friends in this tower somewhere safe?
Haha. If that is all you ask, it's as easy to grant as having an orange at a kotatsu.
You've actually used a kotatsu?
No, it was merely a figure of speech. I've never so much as seen a kotatsu. Very well then, I will transport your friends to somewhere safe as you wish. Oh, where would this somewhere safe be? Ah, yes, the perfect place has occurred to me. I shall send you all there.
I wish she wouldn't decide things like that on her own. It'd be nice if she'd just tell me where she's going to send us. But before I can ask her, she raises a hand and my vision fills with such brightness that I forget to argue. Wait, where is she sending us?
Well then, you. Hasta la vista, baby. Until the day we meet again. Farewell.
Yeah, I'll have to come back to this at some point in my own time, because there's a particular scene you unlock, and I need to fix this in order to do it. I need to have a red clear here in order to do it. The light slowly dims and my vision returns. I am indeed standing in a safe place, the studio in the TV world. It's a relief to look around and see everyone else here too. They all look confused as to what happened, but when I approach them, they break into a smile and congratulate me on the victory. You know, seeing everyone in one place like this, we've got quite the crowd together.
Well done, Narukami. I'm sorry for the trouble we caused.
No, we owe you too. Thank you for stopping the shadows.
Akihiko-san comes up behind me and nudges my shoulder. When I look toward him, he smirks in that dauntless way.
I could have gone to the top myself, but I'll let you take the glory this time.
Thank you, Akihiko-san.
I hear a fuss, and then look toward the exit from the at the center of the studio. Everyone is gathered around the stacked up TVs, wondering what this is all about. Wondering what this is all about. We head over.
I keep saying this is my world. You have to go through this TV to get out to your world, Junpei. Huh? We go through a TV to get out of the TV? Come on, Blue Daruma, quit kidding around.
It's for real. But, now that you mention it, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Going into TV leads you out of the TV?
Jeez, what are you making it all complicated for? It's fine. The TVs are connected. These things only get confusing because you overthink them.
I don't believe this. Look, you just gotta show him.
It seems Teddy and the others are trying to explain about the TV world to the shadow operas as we just met today. Hikari-san and Ken couldn't seem to somewhat understand, but Junpei just isn't getting it. Yep, that's Junpei. And Teddy and Yosuke are having a hard time explaining it to him. Then again, Junpei-san might be too distracted with the shock of seeing Kanji sticking his head into the TV right next to him.
What the... Dude, what are you doing?
Whoa, crap!
Kanji quickly pulls out of the TV and stumbles backwards. Unfortunately, right behind him were Teddy and Junpei-san, watching him a little too closely. The back of Kanji's head hits Teddy's face, and the back of Teddy's head hits Junpei-san's face. So the force of the hit causes Junpei-san to go rolling all the way to the edge of the studio. I wonder if he's okay. It's fine. He's got a thick skull.
Stupid Kanji, that hurt. Don't you know the saying, a head in motion tends to stay in motion?
That's an object emotion tends to stay in motion, but I digress.
Shut up! It's your fault for rubbernecking. When I stuck my head out, I saw a security guard making the rounds. Huh?
Junpei, why are you sleeping on the floor? And just when we were trying to explain things to you.
Teddy, that's not right. If I had to pick sides, I'd say Junpei was clearly the victim right now.
Hey, wait a sec. Kanji-kun, did you just say there was a guard out there?
Huh? Yeah. So?
Then the town's back to normal. The people who disappeared must be safe now, right?
Ooh, that's right! Good job, Junpei. You did great! I'm not sure what I had to do with it.
All right, it finally feels like we won! We saved the town our very own selves.
We did it!
A cheer erupts from all my friends on the investigation team at once. Seeing us in high spirits, the shadow operatives also come forward and join us as well as congratulate each other on the brave fight. I'm so glad I was able to protect my friends. I sense someone looking at me, and when I turn around, I see a figure watching us from a distance. That red hair, the uniform jacket tied around his waist, is the sword in each hand. That's...
Show.
Everyone turns around at this intense up, but Sho doesn't say anything. He just points the tip of his blade he's holding at me. He must mean he'll come to challenge me to a fight again someday.
However many times you want, but next time we'll fight one-on-one, fair and square.
For a brief instant, it looks as if Sho's mouth forms a smile. It doesn't last long, though, because he turns to run and quickly disappears. Was I seeing things? No, I doubt it.
That boy. So he survived.
Yes.
Regrettably, he is a serious criminal who tried to destroy the world. We cannot leave him be.
I understand.
I mean, I imagine world destruction is against the Geneva Convention.
But I won't be so stubborn this time. I ask that you all cooperate with us in capturing Minazuki.
I'm honestly surprised at this. After the P1 Grand Prix came to a close, Mitsuru-san clearly told us not to get involved any further and rejected all our offers to help. I understand that she did so as to not drag us into anything dangerous. But we decided to save Sho. Mitsuru-san must have come to understand our feelings and included us in the search for him. Sho's never had a chance to interact with people. He has no idea how. So we'll fight with him as many times as it takes, explaining our true feelings to him each time. We'll do it over and over until it sinks in what it means to be involved with people. As long as Sho keeps trying for us, I'll answer him with all my strength. So in a way, my answer is already decided.
Yes, of course.
With that, the members of the investigation team who have been listening and chime in from behind me.
To me, my persona's gotten real strong. I'll find that show in no time so Senpai can breathe easier.
That reminds me, that dude was wearing our uniform. I guess we should start by beating the crap out of everyone at school?
Why is that your first go-to?
No violence yet, Kanji-kun. An investigation must be carried out based on thorough examination and confirmed evidence.
Huh? Was he wearing our uniform? I didn't notice at all.
I remember Minnie's smell, too. He can run, but he can't hide from Teddy's nose.
Minnie?
Dude, will you stop giving everyone and everything those weird nicknames?
Does your nose even work anymore? You've been sneezing this whole time.
No, I haven't. That was because of the red fog. It was filled with a terrible curse and...
Curses don't exist. Although given what Kagutsuchi was after, I suppose it did have an effect of that sort in truth.
Why are we so scatterbrained? Can't you guys stay on one topic for 10 seconds?
Oh, sheesh.
Good. It's like always. I can't help but smile and join in with everyone. I'm not alone. Even if it turns out that I have to fight Sho again, my friends and I will handle it. We're the investigation team, after all. When we return from the TV world, an utterly mundane world is waiting for us. And as we stand around in the quiet dawn at Junes before it opens, Yosuke looks around and at the eyebrow-raising outfits of the shadow operatives. I think I'll not tell everyone about him sighing. Thank goodness we came out at this hour. Then again, I'm at a loss of what to do when we go to Yasugani High, closed for the holiday, to see Mitsuru-san off, and a pitch-black military helicopter lands on the grounds. After seeing them all off, we return to the empty pre-dawn food court and take our usual seats.
Sitting here makes it feel like I'm really back.
Indeed. It seems that for now, the case is closed.
Man, that guy sure gave us some grief. Wasn't the world on the brink of ending?
Mm-hmm. Although, I felt a bit sorry for him.
Huh? For who?
You can't even figure that out? She's talking about how Sho probably didn't want to turn out that way.
Yeah, he's a really clumsy kid. I keep thinking about how similar I was, you know?
According to Mitsuru-san, ever since Ikutsuki abandoned Sho, he was left for dead in the hospital's care. I surmise that is where he learned of Ikutsuki's death, and later heard this plan's proposal for Minazuki.
That reminds me, that thing that showed up at the end. Hino Kagutsuchi, right? What was that thing really?
Yeah, it said it was born when this town was enshrouded in fog.
And that's not all. It was all over my fuzzy head, but what was that collective will of so-and-so part about?
I guess it was formed from the hearts of people who only think about themselves, never caring what happens to others.
Yeah, when the fog covered this town last time, the hearts of people who only cared about their own safety gathered and formed that Hino Kagutsuchi.
That's a sad way to be. I wonder why some people think like that.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it except to do our best. By the way, partner,
Yeah?
did you see Adachi up there? What happened to him in the end?
No way! Adachi-san?
That bastard was here?
Oh yeah, I hadn't told everyone yet. By the time I turned around and after defeating Hinakaga Tsushi, Adachi-san was already nowhere to be seen, but...
Don't worry about him. He'll obey the rules.
No one asks any more questions after that. We'll just let the psychopath continue to roam free. He said he will follow he said he will follow the rules. He pinky swore on it. None of it say me as such, but there's a strange kind of trust we have about Adachi-san, who told us that he'd obey the he'd obey the rules of this world. And in this case, at least, Adachi-san was true to his word.
All right then, let's go home. But man, some long holiday this turned out to be.
Seriously, Yukun came to visit and we didn't get to talk at all.
Oh well. But now that it's all over, I think I had fun.
Yuki-chan, have you turned to violence? Thinking back on it, I did see some dangerously scary faces from you.
Teddy, would you like to see me angry?
There, that's exactly what I'm talking about!
I somewhat understand what Yukiko-senpai means. Despite the lost time, we've gathered as a group again. I'm glad for that much.
We all silently nod in agreement to this. Once today is over, we'll return to our normal lives and walk our own paths. Even then, someday, no matter when it may be...
Yosuke-senpai, I'm hungry. Can't we go grab a bite yet?
Oh, meat sounds great right now. Yosuke will treat, of course.
I'm not treating anyone. The store's not even open. Stop trying to make me treat you guys every time.
Things really haven't changed at all. Oh, Senpai, look!
I look to where Rise is pointing and see the sun starting to rise from far beyond the town. Those thick thunder clouds and that day they had covered Inaba yesterday seem to have disappeared along with the fog.
Let's go, everyone.
It's going to be some nice weather in Inaba today. That seems pretty definite, but oh wait! Epilogue! And like that, the long holiday is almost over. We're on our way to the station. I said I didn't need anyone to see me off, but since I didn't get much time to relax, deep down I was happy to spend even a little more time with everyone. As we get closer to the station, a familiar figure comes walking from up ahead. As we're about to pass each other, she speaks to me.
Thanks for your hard work.
Yeah, same to you.
It's not like I really did anything. I was getting my butt handed to me and you weren't around. Like, that was fun.
You were keeping Dojima-san and everyone else safe, weren't you? That was a huge help.
Stupid. No tech love machine. You're being too honest with me. Stupid.
Marie blushes, somewhat embarrassed, but she was protecting this town from the worst of Hino Kagetsuchi's effects. That must have been extremely hard on her.
Hey, this town, do you like it?
Huh? Yeah, I love it.
Go home already. Get out of here and come back soon, jerk.
That was an even bigger outburst than usual. I wanted to express my thanks to her more, but... Well, seeing her in good spirits again relieves me. I'm sure she'll continue to watch over everyone in this town. As I watch her run off, I hurry and catch up to my friends who have gone on ahead. When we reach the platform, Dojima-san, who is already here, hands me my belongings.
Thanks for bringing my things all the way here.
Don't worry about it. Man, you seem pretty busy. So, if you're headed back, does that mean things are settled?
There's a hint of reproach in Dojima-san's eyes. A detective's intuition is an impressive thing. I can tell he still trusts me, since he's stopping short of grilling me for the details. I just wish she'd stop with that drill-like stare.
Take some more time off the next time you come. She seemed pretty lonely.
Nanako looks away sadly as Dojima-san pushes her forward. She's pouting a little. Nanako, I really feel bad that I couldn't spend more time with her.
Oh, Yukon, it's almost time.
Well then, time to disband the investigation team for real this time.
I feel a little down when you actually come out and say it like that.
Yes, but disbanding means that the case has been solved. We should take pride in that, at least.
Investigation team?
Oh, crap!
Chihei's dog went missing, so...
Huh? Really? If you had told me, I would have rushed to help in a jiffy.
Where are you falling for that? Just sit quiet.
That's not fair. I wanted to help too.
I'm sorry, Nanako. I'll be back in the summer.
Really?
Whoa, for reals?
You're gonna stay the whole summer, right?
Yay! That's more than a month. We could do anything then.
Let's see, the summer festival? Going swimming in the ocean? Ooh, and the fireworks show.
Somehow we've gotten sidetracked to the subject of me staying here for my whole summer vacation. I actually hadn't decided myself how long I'll be there here then. In spite of myself, I glanced towards Dojima-san.
You wouldn't mind at all. Nanako would love to have you around.
The train will be arriving shortly. Please step behind the white lines for your safety.
Big bro!
As I lift my luggage, Nanako rushes over to hug me. She was pouting before, but it looks like her sadness has reached its limits.
I don't want you to leave. I want to play with you too.
Nanako.
You really didn't get to spend much time with her.
Yeah, thanks, Kagetsuchi.
Nana-chan, I'll play with you.
Ruined the entire long weekend. What a prima donna, am I right?
I know, Nanako-chan, come over to my place. We have a dog.
No, I want Big Bro.
Nanako, if you keep saying such selfish things, I'll tell you a scary story before bed.
Nanako freezes for a moment with a sudden jolt before reluctantly letting me go. Dojima-san, I'm not sure that's a good way to keep her in line.
I'll have more time over the summer vacation, Nanako. We can play more then.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't know Nanako-chan doesn't like scary stories.
Yeah, if she sees a scary story on TV before bed, she can't go to the bathroom by herself. I'm the one who gets woken up in the middle of the night.
I mean, what kid really does like a scary story? I don't think it's a wide pool.
Dad!
Sorry.
Jeez, we're through, Dad.
Nanako, tired of being teased so much, rushes into the train, even though the departure bell is already ringing. That is not good timing.
Nanako!
Well, I chased after Nanako and rushed into the train, just as the door closed behind me. Dojima-san and my friends are left behind and on the platform with dumbfounded expressions. As the scenery begins to slowly move, they all start chasing after the train. Nanako looks back and forth between me and the others outside and seems a bit panicked. I grin and then look around and inside the train for a seat where we can both sit down until the next station.
Broken? Eaten? Why the hell does it keep changing like that? Break? What is it, a car? I don't even have any brothers named Ken!
Oh my! Are you studying English? Oh, it must be a cold day in hell.
I mean, to be fair, English is an abomination of a language. It doesn't make sense even to the English.
You old hag! I'm trying to study here, so quit making fun of me!
My. He's embarrassed.
Damn, my mom looks so happy. I ain't doing this because I want to. I ignore her and turn back to the study aid thing.
Oh, that's right. There's something I wanted to ask you.
Well, what is it? Quit bothering me. I just hurry up and ask already.
Well, our dyes seem to be running out much faster lately. Do you know anything about that?
I go real flustered at her sudden question.
How should I know? Maybe we had a burglar or something.
Oh my. A burglar who only steals dyes.
Like I said, how should I know? You're probably just imagining it anyway.
Come on, no need to hide it, Kanji. What were you doing?
Is that so? How odd.
Man, she's really sharp about this stuff. I can't let her figure it out yet. She can't know that I'm like thinking about the family business and all. My senpai are third years now, so it's only natural that they talk now and then about our plans for the future. And I've been giving it some thought myself, so I decided to start training in secret about stuff like dying. Huh? What's the studying for? That's part of my plan too.
I just remembered. That navy blue handkerchief I washed yesterday had an odd unevenness to its color.
What? Like how? That handkerchief was my best work lately, and...
Wait, the one I washed was a white handkerchief. Ah, the ravages of age. I keep misremembering things.
You old hag!
She caught you there, Kanji. Ma leaves, chuckling all the while. That old hag. She knew. Feeling embarrassed about my secret training getting found out, I take a break from studying and pick up one of the dyed goods out in the store.
The color just isn't the same.
I compare it to the fabric I dyed for my mascot plushie. I didn't notice until I actually worked with the dyes on my own, but Ma's dyed goods are something else. How does she get the dyes to do that? I can't catch myself sighing and shake the cobwebs out of my head. You senpai has gone back to the city, and my other senpai are probably leaving town next year too. According to their post-grad plans, Rise and Naruto too. Even now, they're away from Inaba more than they're here. To be honest, it's sad to see us all go our separate ways. But the funny thing is, I don't feel as nervous about it as I did. Maybe it's because I found a goal I can be proud of. And that goal is to become a pro craftsman, spreading my dyed goods across the world. I do that, and my friends leave Inaba won't be lonely, no matter where in the world they end up. But first, I got to get better at dyeing, and I need to learn to speak English too. Well, I know a particular answer that can help you with that. No one's gonna get that joke, and that's not even the dying I was talking about in that sense. With new resolve, I look up at the Tatsumi textile shop curtain. Seeing those vibrant, perfectly dyed colors, I can't help but feel a wicked laugh rising up within me. Rising up in me.
I ain't giving up, goddammit!
Excuse me.
As I'm picking up an empty plate from the parlor, which is as lively as usual, a guest beckons me over.
Whoa, you're a high school girl and a manager? That's awesome. Hey, could you wash my back later?
Ew!
Sir, please don't joke like that.
Well, I might consider it if you held a party here every day for the next year.
Really? I'll take you up on that.
Thank you for your patronage. Of course, I must ask that you pay for everything up front.
Huh?
While the guest is stunned, I exit the parlor. Even people like Kim are important guests. It would be easy to lash out, but I've started to learn lately that there are other ways to deal with them.
Yuki-chan, are you okay? Are you sure you're not pushing yourself too hard?
Don't worry. I'll make sure to lean on you and the others if I'm ever feeling stressed. Please help me out if that happens.
Really? You've gotten so dependable all of a sudden.
I can't help but smile a little at the waitress's delight. The reason I'm able to try my best like this is because of my strength alone. It's more that I want to keep pushing myself further because as I have people who depend on me. And I think it's because of that, Kate, is that I'm thinking this way now. I've made my decision to take over the inn, and everyone is cheering me on. To live up to their expectations, I need to train hard, so I won't be disgraced as the inn's manager. Even when it comes to cooking, I don't have to be as good as the chefs. I just need help. I just need to be able to take some simple appetizers by myself. Some simple appetizers by myself. As I moved to the corner of the kitchen and I was barring, I checked the contents of the pot.
I think it's missing a bit of tartness. Maybe I should use yogurt.
Oh boy.
Huh? It burned? That's odd. I was sure this was how the chefs did it.
Yuki-chan? I smell something burning. Are you okay?
There might not be in a moment.
I'm okay. For now.
You're improving as a manager, but I think your progress as a cook is still bumpy.
That's putting it lightly. I can't help but sigh at the waitress's gentle rejection as I stare at the burnt pot. Maybe I should get more people to help taste my food. Yeah, I'm not alone, so I'm sure my friends will be eager to help me out.
I'm gonna leave math for later. I gotta start with general ed questions first.
I just noticed the poster on a wall says Blue 3, which I assume is a play on Bruce Lee. I waved the white flag at the incomprehensible row of numbers as in open a different book. Jeez, this one's pretty thick too.
What is this? Some kind of old manuscript? Oh, I'm in great shape at least. How come there aren't any practical skills in the primary exam?
I give up at the endless list of formal sentences and plop up onto my bed. The comfortable feeling of my pillow slowly lures me to sleep.
So sleepy.
It's no use. I know when I'm beat, and the The sample question is for the police employment exams are too rough.
I bet Master would
too tough.
totally ace the written exams too. I mean, he'd make it to the top easy.
I remember declaring to Akihiko-san my dream to be a police officer when I got to see him during the incident the other day. Why a police officer? It's simple, really. So I can protect everything I care about. Things like my family and friends, and this town itself, where I have so many good memories of growing up. Yukon's gone back far away to the city, and since Yosuke has decided to go to college, he'll eventually leave Inaba too. Risei-chan and Naoto-kun will probably have to do a lot of traveling in their work, and even Yukiko said she might go to do some innkeeper training elsewhere. Kanji-kun's supposedly up in the mountains in search of dyes and cooking wood, I think. Wait, that part about cooking wood seems off. But even if we end up separated, it won't change the fact that we can always come back here to Inaba. That's why I'll protect this town. That, I think, is the real strength everyone gave me.
I'm gonna become a police officer, no doubt about it. If Master's at the top, I'll work my way up to his level.
And that's why I can't be bummed out just because as I stumbled a bit over objects subjects I'm not so good at. I lightly slap both my cheeks and wake myself up to get a second wind, and then I jump out of bed and head back to my desk once more. These sample questions are a tough enemy right now, but the stronger the enemy, the more true fighter the more a true fighter welcomes the challenge. Once I become a police officer, I'll bust up bad guys at crime scenes one after another.
I need to be on the streets, not behind a TV.
Akihiko-san, a government official with the police, will be my strict but kind boss. Oh, and I bet if a case comes up, our ace detective Naoto-kun will help us out on the investigation. Yukon and the others will be amazed at how I take care of business. It's kind of embarrassing to think about that, though. And there she goes.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best.
I mean, A for effort. Sometime after the Golden Week incident, I was in the drawing room of a certain dummy company in Okina City. To the public, it's merely a small publishing company, but in truth, it's been rented by the Public Safety Service as a base of operations for administering police activities, police activities carried out in secret. Though at times I cooperate with them on investigations, I'm still an ordinary high school student. And since I'm only an outsider from the police's perspective, it would cause too much of a stir for me to come into contact with public safety at regular police stations. This, in other words, is one of the few places I can be at ease. I've come here a number of times after that case and grown acquainted with some of the part-time employees. Given my position, and it may be dangerous to get too close to public safety, but the relationship is extremely useful as a source of information. The fact that it's a pipeline I established myself undoubtedly gave me greater confidence as well. Upon hearing the details of this case, the man from public safety is lost in thought for some time. But then he tells me with some chagrin that the secret inquiry into the Kirijo group is concluded.
What do you mean?
You probably believe that this investigation is about the potential dangers of the Kirijo group, but that's not the truth. It was ordered by top public safety officials who aren't keen on Mitsuru Kirijo's influence. They're trying to find fault with her to rein her in.
Then, were these top officials dissatisfied with my report?
Oh, your report was detailed and accurate, but that was too fair for their liking.
Are you asking me to report a distortion of the truth?
Don't glare like that. The officials used Kirijo's disappearance this time to order an investigation on the Shadow Operative's facility.
Yes, I know about that. I'd heard from my friends.
But these investigation results aren't what those at the top hoped for. If this continues, they may abandon rational judgment in their desperation.
In other words, you think they would begin to suspect me as taking sides with Kirijo?
Yes, but that's not what we hope to see happen. In all honesty, enabling their power struggle has no upside for our organization at all. We are very satisfied with your work. That's why it would be less than ideal if you lost favor with the top officials and became unhireable.
I understand. Though they're all part of public safety, you're saying the top officials and the on-site investigators have different views.
That's the nature of the beast. You have my permission to continue visiting this place from now on. So, I ask that you play along this once.
Permission to continue? So, you leave a thread for me to follow while telling me not to get too involved. A bit self-serving, wouldn't you say?
A harsh assessment. Both the inner truth and the outer veneer matter in society. That's how it is.
I was only joking. I thank you for your generous consideration.
I give a bow and leave the room. When I step outside the building, I see a clear blue sky spreading overhead. I take a seat on the bench that catches my eye. The afternoon sunlight, just now beginning to heat up, shines down on me. It's been a while since I've had time such as this, with nothing pressing to occupy me. This case forced me to think about several things. First, shadow-related incidents are not limited to the Midnight Channel. Second, the Shadow Operatives, the only organization that can counter those threats, are in a politically unstable position. Finally, there may be more powerful remnants of ergo research, like Show somewhere.
This bears further investigation.
Since I'm both the detective and a persona user, there should be truth that only I can unearth from my unique position. The scope of this investigation will be vast, and I may no longer be able to remain in Inaba. But no matter what kind of physical distance I put between myself and the friends I made here, our hearts will never be apart. Having made my resolution, all I must do is make the first move in my investigation.
It seems I'm about to be very busy.
All right, that must be the place.
A few days after the incident during Golden Week, after coming to Okina City, I find what I'm looking for and start walking towards it. What am I looking for, you ask? The sign for a cram school. See, I've decided to go on to college after graduating from high school. I know I'm off to kind of a late start, but that's my fault for ignoring my guidance counseling results.
Thanks to this case, I feel like I'm finally prepared to face my future. It's like I finally made a breakthrough.
A breakthrough?
When I was chatting with you while reflecting on the case, he gave me this puzzled expression when I started talking about this stuff. I told him vaguely about what I couldn't muster up, and how I couldn't muster up an interest in the future, since we'd all be going our separate ways, because I'm having so much fun with my friends here and now. It came off a little unfocused because I tried to cram everything I wanted to say cramming everything I wanted to say at once, including how this isn't because I'm unhappy with the way things
I
are.
kept wondering if there was any way I could spend my time with everyone forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that that's just running from reality.
Excuse me? Everything in this world changes, and that's what makes it interesting. These bonds we have will keep changing too, but that doesn't worry me like it used to. No matter how far apart we may be, no matter how different the paths we take may be, I rely on everyone, and I want to be someone everyone else can rely on.
Why, for now, I'm focused on finding a big project that won't bore me until I die. First, I'm gonna go to college and expand my horizons. I guess for how long I thought about it, it's a pretty standard path.
It's a start. There's no shame in that.
Oh, I think that's just like you, Yosuke. Isn't the long consideration really the important part?
That's why that's what my partner said after listening to my endless spiel. He might be right. Taking time to consider things must be important too. And so, after picking up the application for cram school and coming back to Inaba, I'm now taking drastic measures at Yamanaido bookstore. In front of me is a shelf of study aid books, and all around me are serious-looking guys as I'm hesitant to talk to.
No idea which ones are any good.
Huh? What are you doing, Yosuke? The shelf with the nurses is over there.
Good lord. The guys picking up out study aid books immediately stare at me as Teddy, his voice pierces the quiet of the store. Come on, give me a break. Why did I have to run into Teddy here?
Stay over here for today, thanks.
Oh, you're looking for camouflage. Something to hide your nurses with?
Good lord.
Hell no!
Teddy proudly rushes over to the certain corner I always stop by. Feeling everyone's heated stares at me, I grab Teddy by his collar and make a dash out of the store. Damn it, I wonder if maybe Janez will get some study aid books in stock.
This part seems to be lacking a bit. It should be more showy, extravagant, all out! Hurrah! I feel like I'm on a roll!
Just deal with it. I go on decorating with splendid watercolored signs, which give the impression of the blue summer sky, and shining star decorations too. On top of that, I made the mannequin sexy too, to better fit the summer theme. As I'm nodding at my awesome display, Yosuke is making a beeline right toward me. I bet he's surprised at my utterly perfect display skills.
Yosuke, what was that for?
For being you.
Shut up! What about this is perfect to you? It looks like a midsummer swimsuit sale.
Oh, now that you mention it.
Oh, that's all you can say? Listen, this is supposed to be a section for elegant summer clothes for the early season. So why set up a swimsuit sale, huh? Stop changing things on your own.
Oh, but Sensei will come back once summer comes, right? My mind is already in full summer mode.
You're jumping the gun way too much. Don't drag our store into your shenanigans.
You say that, but aren't you curious too? Don't you want Yuki-chan, Chie-chan, Rise-chan, and Nao-chan to wear these new swimsuits as soon as possible?
Good lord.
Sure. But wait, we weren't talking about me.
Oh, I know. When Sensei comes back, let's invite Mid-chan and her friends to the beach.
Mitsuru-san and her friends, huh? Oh, they're regular working folks. I mean, they're a special unit, so I don't think they could just...
Yosuke! The game will end if you give up. Just imagine what they'd all look like in swimsuits.
Hey. Of course, there will be Chie-chan and Yuki-chan, Nail-chan and Rise-chan, and on top of that, the beauty is of the Shadow Operatives, led by the glamorous Mit-chan in a grand gathering. Even I can't help but get excited at the thought. God damn it, Teddy. Oh, that look up Yosuke's feet, Yosuke's face means he's gonna get the nosebleed soon. And Yosuke sure is easy to read.
Look, that doesn't change the fact that it's way too early for this. Hurry up and get the display how it's supposed to be.
No! I will staunchly protect my paradise!
Good lord.
Your weird paradise has no place in our store! If you don't hurry and fix this, I'm docking your pay!
Also, I've noticed the lack of Igus in that picture. That is a war crime.
This is tyranny! Utter totalitarianism!
Good lord.
Well then, let's start from Act 3. Ready? Go!
Look, a white bird. Could it be the same one we saw together last summer?
Hark! I am acting!
Who cares about birds right now? If there's something you want to say, then say it.
Please don't be that way. I trusted in you. I believed in our promise that we'd come here on this day. So why did you bring her? I feel like an utter fool.
Oh god, is she doing a soap opera?
Rise-chan.
And Oisan's voice echoes across the quiet rehearsal room. Geez, I already told him that the rehearsal's a little behind schedule.
No, Oisan, we're still rehearsing here.
Oh, sorry. Please forgive me.
And Oisan quickly apologizes and bows to everyone. And I'm about too, apologizing to the actor I'm rehearsing with, and the director for holding up the rehearsal.
Ishikawa, it's time. You're free to go. Everyone else, take it from the top of that scene.
Huh? But
Go on, or they'll yell at me. The promise was we'd do this without getting in the way of your other work. Though, I mean, your acting was great.
thank you. Is there anything else?
What do you mean, anything else?
Anything I should work on?
I just told you that your acting was great. You're rushing this too much.
Suck up.
Well, I don't know. I guess you need to work on accepting your strengths and trying to build on them? Sure.
Wow, what a half-assed answer.
Accept my strengths?
That's right. Hey, I take back what I said. Everyone take a 30-minute breather.
At the director's orders, the tension in the rehearsal room lifts. I grab my towel and bag before hurrying over where Inoue-san is, making himself scarce near the entrance.
So what do you need to talk about, Inoue-san?
Oh, right. The response to your TV appearance the other day was amazing. We keep getting tons of calls with more work for you. And that's why we'd really like to set up an actual schedule and put a huge media blitz behind your comeback.
No, I told you that's not what I want. I'm not even close to my peak performance yet.
Huh? But they're all really good deals, you know?
Nope. Don't you remember how we talked this over with the agency? I want to put my schoolwork first right now. Oh, can you bring the car to the front?
My persona grew a lot during Golden Week. Though it's because I had help from that Elizabeth lady. Once again, I couldn't express my true self on my own. I need more confidence and a firm footing, so I won't be lost no matter what I come up against.
Rise-chan, where are we?
I have voice training after this. Come on, you're my manager. Get your act together.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Can you give me a ride? I want to hear about what kind of work came in.
Of course. I'll bring the car around, so wait at the entrance.
After seeing off Inoue-san, I jogged toward the parking lot and opened up my cell phone. The main wallpaper is a picture of everyone we took at the food court. To make my ideal self a reality, I'll surely have to keep facing up to my weakness. But I'll have help. As long as everyone believes in me, I can overcome those weaknesses as many times as it takes. From the entrance to the studio, I look up at the blue sky. That's a little closer to summer now, and wait for Inoue-san's car to take me to the next rehearsal. The end. And then they all sang. Completed story mode from P4 perspective. Yeah, so that is the P4 story. Now, I do think it could have used some more details and stuff. I think it would have worked better as an RPG sort of thing. Because I think that I think a lot of stuff had to come out, like be cut out. Like, obviously, the only reason Risei's persona evolved was to add her to the roster. It would have been nice if that came back a little more. And like, it could have used more with Kagetsuchi, more with Sho. Like maybe seeing things from his perspective every now and then. But there's an Adachi chapter that's with this version of the game, because this version came with all the DLC that was originally released. So we will get at least some of that, hopefully, when we learn Adachi side. But yeah, the fact that you had this big boss at the end and it blew my mind, and I absolutely adored it, because like I said, I love big RPG set pieces in boss fights, in fighting games. So it was great to see that, as bare bones as it was. It was their first time trying that, I believe. But it really worked for the Persona series. Like, this really helped make it feel like a Persona game. Like, especially with being able to choose who fights and some story segments if you had people with you. Like, making it feel a bit more like a party instead of everything being up to you. That said, I will get into more detail once we do the P3 story, which we'll do as soon as these credits end. I think we got time we still got time to get started on the P3 story. We can do like an hour into it, an hour or so. I just noticed Kagetsuchi has a sword sticking out of his head. That's a neat detail. I need to turn on my fan. We're getting in summer right now, so it is a little warm. I even have my window open and there's no wind blowing. I got two windows open, actually.
This program was brought to you by the following sponsors.
Oh, we can go into the episode of Dachi straight away? Well, we're not doing that. We are going to start. We are going to start with episode P3. I'll clear this again during the week. But let's get started. Preparations.
The death of everything, but also the beginning.
Oh, hi! It's been a long time since we've seen you.
People have filled the world, yet turned it into a void. The only hope of salvation lies in ruin.
Did you work in a zoo? Because that's one huge pile of shit you're pushing around. So, how'd that turn out for you, Dad? It doesn't matter now that you're dead as a doornail, does it? You wanted the world destroyed, huh? Isn't that right, you worthless pest? Fine, I'll do it. This shitty world with its shitty people and shitty lives will disappear, and I'll be the only thing left. After all, if the Father's fallen into darkness, then the Son must rise. Just kidding.
What nonsense.
What?
These constructs can only remain active within my red fog. Even then, they can only do so for a limited amount of time. If you have time to waste with worthless sentiment, hurry up and complete your preparations.
Ha! You've got no sense of humor. Keep up your whining and I'll have to kill you too.
Such impudence. Take them. They are your pawns.
They're pretty well made. Fine, I've got the power I borrowed from you too. So now there's no way I could lose. Well then, time to make like a tree and turn over a new leaf or whatever.
God, that was a bad joke. Like father, like son, I guess.
Huh. A puppet version of a puppet. I'll make sure you get the job done this time.
Now let's begin. For the sake of his world.
May 5th, afternoon. I'm at the Shadow Operative's lab.
Finish going through Labrys's personality module and control links.
Fukusan's voice echoes through the machinery-filled room where she works as the operator. It seems it'll be a little more time until she'll be finished with her work.
I knew we could count on you.
I'm sorry that I asked you for such a big favor.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly stand by after something so important happened. But, is it really all right for me to be doing this? Aren't you all part of some kind of police organization now?
There's no need to be concerned. Even now that we've become the Shadow Operatives, this lab belongs solely to the Kirijo group.
The Shadow Operatives. A special unit under the direct supervision of the National Police Agency, organized to deal with supernatural cases that the normal police would be unable to respond to. In other words, cases dealing with shadows. This is one of the laboratories under the management of the Shadow Operatives. The purpose of this place is mainly to analyze evidence gathered in shadow-related cases. As analysis of the shadow matter as for scientific understanding and planning operations. Another objective is the maintenance, inspection, and service for anti-shadow weapons like such as myself. Since I am a member of the Shadow Operatives and am classified as a weapon due to my mechanical nature, I periodically undergo maintenance at this facility. Directly after the inauguration of the Shadow Operatives, Mitsuru-san had a statue of the art packing statue, really? Mitsuru-san had a state-of-the-art packing case prepared for me to transport me. However, the one slumbering in this case is my sister, who is also our new teammate, Labris, the 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon.
I finished investigating Labris's mobility systems. All I have to do now is reboot her OS and perform some final checks.
Thank you. How is she?
She'd sustained some heavy structural damage, so I was worried, but thankfully none were critical.
Since my sister had been forced to push herself far beyond her limit during the events of the other day, her entire body had taken serious damage. I'm glad she's okay. Fukasan's words caused me to sigh with relief.
See. And what did you recover from her memory?
I'm sorry. I searched through it, but I found no records that would lead to finding the one behind what happened. If we want to pursue him any further, we'll have to wait for a report from intelligence. But it seems that will still take some time.
I see.
I see Mitsuru-san tighten her fist with that quiet utterance. The culprit is someone capable of manipulating the data in my sister's memory. The possibility that they would make the mistake of leaving a trace to themselves, leading to themselves, is extremely low. Even when one knows the outcome, people often feel indignant when the last bit of hope is crushed. It's understandable. Our ability to find out who kidnapped my sister has been completely stymied.
Then we have no clues to go on.
Don't be so hasty. We might get new leads from intelligence, right?
Ever since that attempted airplane hijacking, we've learned that the Public Safety Division has been making some disquieting moves. If we don't make a move soon, there's no telling what they'll do to take advantage of the situation. We have to find a lead before they do anything.
Akihiro-san has known Mitsuru-san for a long time. Mitsuru-san's expression remains stiff as he tries to console her. That's only natural. The Shadow Operatives are still in a delicate position with regards to where we stand within the National Police Organization. As a seemingly suspicious group founded by an outsider and dealing with crimes outside the capabilities of the normal police force, we often are met with the cold stares from the people who should be our fellow investigators when we're dispatched on cases. The logic of such actions elude me, but I cannot pretend that they do not exist.
I understand how you feel, Mitsuru-san, but we must solve one problem at a time. That is why we have gathered here today.
You're right. I'm sorry. Please work with me here in reviewing what information we already know.
Mitsuru-san implores us for assistance. Our gathering here at the lab today isn't just to hear about the results of Fukasan's tests on my sister. We come to share and review the information we have to inspect the clues as closely as possible, to get the culprit as quickly as possible.
The person behind this case first stole Labris, the 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, while she was in transport.
Yes. The hijacking of the airplane you were on was a diversion used to conceal the theft of my sister, after which she was transported to Inaba.
Correct. The hijackers were subdued and captured, but we have reason to believe that their minds were under some kind of control.
Those who hijacked the airplane and transported the case had no memory of taking part in the crime. They did not recognize one another, had nothing in common, and were all ordinary citizens with no prior criminal records. They did, however, all claim in their testimonies that they saw red eyes though their interrogations are still ongoing. It seems it won't be long before they are released. With all these points taken into consideration, it becomes apparent that this is no ordinary crime.
The culprit waited until he arrived in Inaba to turn Labris on and fiddle with her memory. And then he threw her into the TV world, right?
Where one's heart and memories manifest themselves. As a machine, Labris was able to control these memories in great detail. In other words, the enemy used her in order to set a trap for us.
When we entered the television world in pursuit, we defeated her shadow and made indirect contact with the culprit.
That person revealed that his goal was to steal our personas by making us fight each other, which would weaken our hearts and turn our personas to shadows. Once he'd accomplished that, he would combine them all so we could have even more powerful shadows.
Everyone falls silent. The mysterious person's motive was to gather and unify shadows. This is all too similar to something that those of us gathered here will never forget.
The culprit's speech pattern is consistent with Ikutsuki-san's mannerisms. His inability to use a persona matches him as well.
But that's not possible.
That's right. We've confirmed Ikutsuki's death.
Or maybe there's someone out there besides Ikutsuki who still thinks the same way he did.
If so, then the world we strive for is still far away.
Mitsuru-san sounds as if she's in agony. Tsuji Ikutsuki, 3 years ago, he became fascinated with the fall and tried to bring about the end of the world using shadows. To Mitsuru-san, he is also the adversary that robbed her of her previous father.
Yamagishi, when Labris awakens, can you give her a summary of the case from 3 years ago?
Of her precious father, not previous. Yamagishi, when Labris...
I'd like her to know what went on while she was sealed.
I understand.
Can't you just stick that data into her memory?
If we did that, it would just become a piece of data to her. She needs to be told about it in order for her mind to understand what happened.
She's human through and through, huh?
Also, I noticed something when I was checking her memories. The makeup of Labris's memory field is slightly different from Igus's.
That S after the apostrophe shouldn't be there. Same with Igus.
Besides the memory area that she normally accesses, there seems to be a sub-network of some sort. She has 2 memory networks? I think it was probably used to incorporate the feedback from her sibling units, but I still don't know for sure. That's why I believe it's safer to tell her in person.
All right, I'll let you tell her however you see fit. Regarding Ikutsuki, I'm pressuring staff to hurry and review the information, including the newly discovered quarantine server at Ergo Research. We never knew about the server in question before now, because it had been cut off from the group's network. It most likely has information that normally would have never left Ergo Research, such as data on top-secret experiments.
Ikutsuki-san could be involved in this case. Mitsuru-san's worry and irritation may be because she senses that possibility. We all understand the pain she must be in.
By the way, what was the logic behind that whole midnight channel thing?
It's still unknown, but we'll have to send people to Inaba again. We're going to hold a meeting at headquarters tomorrow to discuss countermeasures.
Suddenly, an alarm that notifies us of abnormalities goes off and reverberates through the lab. Mitsuru-san quickly uses a nearby control panel to contact the staff within the facility.
What's going on?
The surveillance system detected a rise in shadow readings.
It's currently stabilizing around a level 3 alert, located in that town of Inaba.
What?
Looks like he's shown up already. That saves us the trouble of having to puzzle this out.
Yusan and his friends are in danger. Mitsuru-san, please give the order to dispatch us.
All right, we'll leave at once. Yamagishi, leave Labrys to Kikuno and accompany us.
I understand. Well then, I leave the rest to you, Kikuno-san.
Understood. Lady Mitsuru, everyone, please be careful.
One of Mitsuru-san's personal domestic assistants, or should I say maids, Kakuna-san answers. Kakuna-san and Mitsuru-san have a stronger bond than that of any ordinary servant and master, and she is another of the shadow operatives. Her words catch my attention for some reason. Please be careful. A very trivial expression of concern for our safety. Brushing it off as a common courtesy would be simple, but I feel that she may be sensing something unusual regarding the situation that awaits us there. What could be causing this unease? Does Mitsuru-san know?
Oh, hold on, I guess.
As I'm trying to decide on whether or not to look deeper into Mitsuru-san's state of mind, Fuka-san gets up from her operator seat and beckons me over.
What is it? If we can put Labrys aside for a moment, are you going to be all right without having any maintenance done on you, I guess? What do you mean? I read the documents on your new equipment. At first I assumed it was referring to that large gun, but it's actually... that. True. There have been no tests confirming that it is capable of being used in an actual combat situation.
Gun, my name is Chekhov.
But we face a powerful foe this time. Is it even possible? If even one thing were to go wrong.
Fuka-san's face clouds as she looks at me. I can't be confident that it'll be all right, and I'm unable to tell her a pleasant lie to calm her down. In any case, I only pray that a situation that requires me to use my new equipment never arises. Both of us are tense as we prepare to depart.
Milady, a change of clothes has been laid out in your car.
I see. Thank you.
I've also prepared Akihiko-san's favorite protein drink. Akihiko-san has been preparing a playlist suitable for a road trip in her room.
Huh?
That will be all, Kikuno.
Very well. Pardon me.
As expected from Kikuno-san, she is amazingly considerate, as a personal assistant should be, but she can be too thoughtful at times. We learned this for ourselves when she came to accept us as people who are precious to Mitsuru-san.
Start this over, shall we? Shadow operatives, let's mobilize.
I wonder if we're going to get more on Kikuno in P3 Reloaded. We'll have to see when it comes out. Thanks to Kikuno-san, the tension in the air subsides a bit, but we cannot allow our attention to wander just now. Upon completing our preparations for departure, we immediately make our way to Inaba.
Why are we taking this car again, Mitsuru?
Akihiko-san grumbles from the back seat of the Shadow Operative's personal limousine. I'm not sure how to put this, but I find that his feelings are justified.
Don't question it, Akihiko. There was no time to prepare a vehicle with the same equipment. Speaking of appearances, are you going to wear that again?
Sure. There's a chance that we'll have to fight after all. These clothes give me the flexibility I need.
Impressive, Akihiko-san. You never change. Still, to think that the culprit would make a move so soon. We've completely lost the initiative.
Indeed. We need to begin taking measures right now. I only hope no danger comes to Narukami and his friends.
Mitsuru-san seems deeply agitated. During the car ride, she seemed distracted. At times she would flip through the thick file in her lap, only to suddenly give an order to a subordinate, and at other times she would stare intently at her watch as if lost in thought. Her usual regal composure is gone.
Mitsuru-san, why don't we just ask them to cooperate with us?
I agree. They seem pretty strong.
No, they're still young. If I asked for their assistance, it would waste time better spent in school. Worse yet, it would put them in danger.
When you were their age, you took on a world-ending event.
I don't want anyone else to have to go through that anymore.
I understand how you feel, but they don't seem like the kind who'd listen. We were the same way back then.
Exactly. Mitsuru-san falls silent. It's likely not a mistake to think that the sudden spike in shadow activity this time is related to the events of a few days ago. It has become apparent to everyone that another dangerous battle is about to begin.
We have new information. Kikuno sent me a message. I tasked Kikuno with reviewing Ergo Research's quarantine server. But it seems new evidence has come to light regarding Ikutsuki, who we discussed in our earlier conversation. According to the report, it seems Ikutsuki was performing an experiment on his own in the lab directly after the explosion. It's unknown if this is related to our current mission, but there was a record of a plume of dusk being used in the experiment.
A plume of dusk.
Plume of dusk, an object that blurs the line between matter and information, and is fitted into anti-shadow weapons like myself. It forms the core of our personality modules, and is what allows us to control personas, even though we are machines.
So, what are the details of this experiment? Nothing good, I bet.
Ikutsuki was...
The limousine's engine suddenly roars, drowning out further conversation. It seems the road we are taking has begun to climb a steep hillside. As the car takes a winding road up the slope, I can look down through the window and see lush trees along the mountainside. For a moment, I thought I sensed a shadow reading. Could it have just been my imagination?
Yamagishi, tell me our current location.
One moment. I'm looking it up now. We're currently in Inaba Pass. We're almost at the target coordinates.
And things go wrong in 3, 2, 1.
What is this? Was that?
What's wrong? An ambush?
What's happening? Driver, what's going on? Answer me!
It's just like during the hijacking.
Subtitles seem to be lagging a bit.
A barrier? Are we trapped?
And that's how that happened. Oh, we gotta do Yukiko first. No, not Yukiko. No, Yukari. This is great.
Here we go. Feathered chain. Phoenix Rangers. Featherman victory.
So, you've come to fight me, Featherman.
Merlion, the evil forces have fallen. Stop here.
How dare you oppose
on! I've had enough of this! Ultimate Arrow! It's over!
And cut.
Perfect. What a take.
Thank you very much!
Well done. That looked really great. Can somebody get wardrobe, please? No, there was something else. I think that's a wrap.
I love how that's totally not how filming works.
Let's take a 10-minute break.
When the director calls us out, the tension in the area dies away. I make my way to the simple tent used as our break room and take a sip of my drink. My scenes for today are done.
I'm tired.
You're on a roll, Featherpink.
Huh? Do you think so?
The directors had nothing but good things to say, too. Looks like this will have a positive effect on your main job. Speaking of your next shoot,
My main job. My real job's supposed to be studying in college. I wipe the sweat from my brow and as my manager excitedly tells me about the schedule for my next gig. I'd always had an interest in fashion, so I started taking modeling jobs as a way to earn some pocket money. It's pretty tough since I've had to do things like pose in the middle of winter with just a t-shirt. But thankfully, I've been able to get I've been able to get a steady flow of commissions now. Trying to manage both classwork and my job as a model was already hard enough when my manager applied for an audition for a live-action show without my consent, claiming that I should broaden my work horizons. When I mentioned and I have practiced archery in high school, it really got their attention. It all made sense to me when I learned that Featherpink's weapon would be a bow and arrow, though. As a result, I ended up as a protector of Earth in a kid superheroes show starting this year. While my acting work makes use of different expression and that my modeling career lets me dress up in a lot of different clothing, it kind of makes me feel like I'm changing who I am, too. It's insanely busy, but it's fulfilling and fun, and yet...
what's wrong? Something troubling you?
Oh, not really.
I checked my cell phone, but Mitsuru-san and still hasn't sent me a response. I have tomorrow off, so I emailed her earlier asking if she'd like to spend some time with me and go shopping. She's been contacting me less and less often recently, and when she does, it's because of shadows. I am one of the Shadow Operatives, a group established by Mitsuru-senpai. I understand that she wants us to be able to have normal lives, and she said that she wouldn't hesitate to ask for my help if she ever needed it. But it seemed like, to me like she was taking everything on by herself. That attitude didn't satisfy me, so I forced her to add me to her team. However, unlike Igus and the other official members, I'm part of a special unit that only gathers in emergencies, trusted with immediately subduing shadows by force. What did she call it? The auxiliary staff? Something like that, anyway. It's wonderful that there has been no situations that called for us to be dispatched, and even if something like that did arise, the official Shadow Operatives are all excellent. There's no need to worry about the likes of Akihiko-senpai and Igus around, but...
Is it really that hard to just send back a reply? It's Golden Week, for God's sake.
What's this? Don't tell me you've got some boyfriend trouble.
Oh, no, it's nothing like that.
We normally talk when we see each other, so I've never doubted my friendship with her. Still, when things remain unsettled, it's unsatisfying. Maybe I have to get on her case about taking everything on all by herself. Ignore the helicopter in the background. Thus, there's something loud going. There's something loud going on outside.
What? What's this helicopter doing here? Is there a helicopter in this shooting script? Huh?
As the sound gets closer, the tent walls and roof begin to undulate with intense wind. When I rush outside, I see the crew are all looking up and causing a commotion. When I look up, there's a black helicopter descending towards the ground, dangling a rope ladder. A lady in the pilot seat sees me and gestures towards the ladder. Oh. At that moment, it all becomes clear. I only know of one person who would do this.
I'm glad she came, but she's making too big of a scene.
I'm completely astounded by the utter absurdity of the situation. But before I know that I'm already running towards the ladder.
Man, you were amazing.
Thanks for cheering for me.
You're a real hit with the ladies.
I'm gonna get going for today.
Okay, you better be this good next time, too.
Leave it to me. I'm home, Koromaru.
There's some time until dinner, so I decided to leave the dorm again with Koromaru. The Gekakon dormitory is where we live. It was briefly closed after Mitsuru-san and the others graduated. All the equipment from a few years ago was removed, of course. But with the increase in students at Gekakon, they decided to reopen the dorm. I applied for a room as soon as I heard. The reason I did was because of Koromaru. He had been in Aiga-san's care, but at this dorm he'd be allowed to live with me. Also, to be honest, I felt that living here let me stay close to my companions, who are fighting even now. Back then, everyone took turns walking Koromaru. Now it's my job. The path to the nearby Naganaki shrine is Koromaru's usual route. Koromaru is quite old for a dog, but as he trots along at his usual pace along our usual path, it makes me think for a moment that all the fighting back then was just a dream. Only when I'm watching Koromaru walk like this can I forget everything and feel a little at ease. We pass through the gateway at the entrance and step onto the shrine grounds. Since it's nearly sundown, there's nobody but us in this serene atmosphere. I sit down on the bench and sigh to myself. Koromaru notices, though, and immediately rushes over to nuzzle my leg.
It's nothing, Koromaru.
Even while I'm saying it, I'm sure Koromaru can see through my words. I can't understand them in the same way Aga-san can, but even I can tell what Koromaru is thinking. I pet Koromaru as he looks up with me with a worried whine, and I put my hand in my pocket and pull out the Shadow Operative badge that Mitsuru-san had given me. Koromaru wears the same badge on his collar.
Even if she gave me this, I know it's just for show. I bet everyone else is working hard right now.
This morning, I got a call from Sanada-san for the first time in a long while. It seems he'd just come back to Japan from a year-long training journey. Wandering the world, I knew he was the kind of person who would put himself through anything in order to get stronger, but this is the sort of thing that you only hear about in stories. Sanada-san told me that he had gone to see Mitsuru-san directly after he returned to his country, but had been immediately dispatched to an emergency. He's currently busy with that, so he just said that he would tell me more about his trip some other time. I know that being a shadow operative must be tough, but he seems to be excited to be. He seems so excited when talking about them. So it's like I get these pent up. So it's like I get these pent up feelings inside.
Remember too, you know.
A member, yes, but only as part of a secondary unit that only gets called out in extreme situations. Being part of a special suppression unit has a cool ring to it that I like, but the official shadow operatives are each given a unique number. For example, Aga-san is member number 5. We don't have that, and we're just auxiliary members. I haven't been called to action yet, and I doubt that I ever will be until after graduate school. After all, I did promise Mitsuru-san that I would try to live out my childhood as much as I could.
I'm just for show too.
And following that promise to try as much as I could, I've been acting like a child on the surface. An average middle school student and studying to help out with club activities, and even taking part in the student council. But I haven't officially joined any clubs, and the reason why is because I asked Mitsuru-san to call me for help if she ever needed me. I know that no organization under the police would be able to command an underage person, let alone someone in middle school. I'm only a shadow operative for show, and only a child for show. If this continues, I won't know whether I'll ever go back to who I really am.
Making my life my own is actually pretty hard. Sometimes I lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think back on the words left by the person who saved my life. I thought I'd come to understand them at one point, but as time passed, other emotions began to rear their heads.
Completely dark now. We should head back home, Koromaru.
I wonder if I'll be left behind like this. Would things actually be better if I just forgot about everything? Could I live with myself if I had the power to fight, but did nothing with it? I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking a lot about that. I stand up from the bench and look across the dark, quiet temple grounds. I won't reach an answer by just by thinking about it. I know that, but at that moment, Koromaru suddenly barks at me. It's been a while since I heard him bark like this. He's been getting more and more mellow these days. What's that sound? Some rhythmic noise is approaching from up above. The wind then becomes stronger, and the trees around the temple begins to rustle. I look up into the sky, and a bright light turns on high above. My eyes adjust. I see a previously hidden black helicopter and the otherwise pitch black sky. It's like something out of a movie. Is it the military? No, that can't be right. As if to answer my doubts, the surge streams down, pinning shadows to the ground. Something's happened. That's my first thought. I don't know why, but for some reason I sense elation rising up through my body. I grip my Shadow Operative badge tightly, then adjust it back onto my... then thrust it back into my pocket as I take a deep breath. I run towards the helicopter. Well, well, well. And Junpei's right there. Well, we got her, right?
Where am I?
Blue skies and azure ocean spread out before my eyes. A gentle breeze brushes my cheek as I stand on a blindingly glistening beach, the sun shining from high above. The sound of the waves is calming.
What am I doing here? Wasn't I going through maintenance at Mitsuru-san's place?
I retrace my memories with the hint of bewilderment. Because I had been severely damaged in the recent battles. I was to undergo full repairs at the laboratory in the Shadow Operatives facility. I was placed into a protective case, and Fuka-san explained what was going to happen while Aga-san stood nearby.
This must be a dream then.
I vaguely remember the sensation. It's similar to something I've experienced a number of times before. Fuka-san said that she would shut down my consciousness during maintenance. Thus, I shouldn't be able to dream. This is a random phenomenon occurring during my rebirth. Is this a random phenomenon during my reboot process?
I'm dressed like this again.
I'm wearing the uniform from Yasogami High. My arms are human arms. Since what's in one's heart can be reflected in dreams, this must be one of my desires. Still, I know it's nothing but an illusion. I understand. I won't deny it any longer. This isn't really an appearance that I wanted to recall so soon after what happened yesterday. But it seems the me deep in my heart won't let me be that way. Still, as I gaze at the scenery, I eventually stop caring. I take a step towards the pier that juts from the beach, then turn my attention to the eternal GPS.
Guess there's no use doing something like that in a dream.
I don't need my GPS to know what place this is. It's where I hid at a certain wish in my heart sometime long ago.
So beautiful. If this really is a dream, maybe I can keep going.
Just while I think that, the pier under my feet crumbles and disappears without a sound. Just like that, the azure waters swallow me. The sun's light becomes dim, but I feel no anxiety. The mysterious sensation envelops me, as if everyone is near me, and I'm connected with everyone. Eventually, when the feeling of floating becomes stronger, and I lose all sensation up and down, the sea changes into a field of countless lights. It's in the darkness.
Now, where could this be?
It seems I have an odd guest. Oh, you're that misrepresent. No, press stand? Ah, yes, Miss President. We met the other day.
Misrepresent. Hi, Elizabeth, you're fun. I turn towards the voice and see a familiar woman in a blue dress, Elizabeth. She gave me a word of caution during yesterday's battle, when I had turned my eyes away from my true self. This is an unexpected reunion with the person who appeared before me like a storm, and left the same amount of with the same amount of force.
Oh, hi. Thanks a bunch for back then. I didn't get to thank you properly at the time.
You faced yourself and overcame the ordeal through your strength alone. And the feelings of those at the scene certainly helped as well. Still, my assistance was merely the cake under the ice.
That's icing on the cake.
Under the ice? I don't know what that means, but this place is beautiful. Where am I?
This is a world within people's hearts. Since you're here, it's most likely that you are at rest in the real world. Now that you have gained a heart of your own and are nurturing it, I wouldn't be surprised if you were to wander here at times.
That all sounds pretty complicated. What are you doing here, Elizabeth?
To put it as Frank would, it is a secret. If there was something I could say about it, I am yearning for an unseen power.
That's to put it frankly.
Huh? You want power too? Even though you're insanely strong already?
Oh, all this talk of power has reminded me of something. It seems you have obtained a new power through that battle earlier. I do not mean to be rude, but my adorable personality cannot restrain my infinite curiosity for such things. Would you show it to me?
Huh? Wait. Hey, hold on now. Are you saying you want to fight me right this minute?
My, how could I have forgotten? A boisterous brawl in this place would certainly not be elegant.
I'm not talking about where we are.
Worry not. I will prepare a worthy stage at once.
Wait, you'll what? Huh?
She flips open the book with a fluid motion. As she does, a blue circle draws itself in the air, and the scenery around us changes.
This place.
The tranquil ocean-like area changes into a familiar place. This is the announcement room at the school that I had created. Beyond the glass, in this red-stained room, hung the corpses of my sisters, as I had destroyed with my own hands. I feel a lump in my throat as the memories come back to me. I look down and see my body has returned to its cold, white, metallic one. This is my true form. Hey, Lotus Friends, and welcome to the stream. How was your day? Yeah, we're about to fight Elizabeth, so... F's.
Oh, are you a bit shaken? My apologies, but it seems we're being pressed for time.
Before I can sort out my emotions, the aura I feel from Elizabeth begins to intensify. She's coming.
Without further ado, here I come. Your fate is in the cards.
Yeah, I did a whole playthrough of like the first Persona 4 Arena story, so you can check that one for the details. First fight of the P3 story, let's go. And with my main.
Oh my, impressive. Oh my, impressive. I see.
Oopsie daisy.
Oh no.
Is this the
Impressive. Oh no. Impressive.
It's time, Persona.
Oh my, impressive. Oh no. I anticipated.
Ow.
Backing up.
Penalty.
Ooh, impressive. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, you have shown me your potential.
Nice. A simple combo, but I practiced it a lot. I'm thankful I still kind of have the muscle memory for it.
Well done. I have indeed witnessed the power you have acquired.
While I was preoccupied with fighting Elizabeth, I remembered something. This is the place where I faced myself and gained something precious and irreplaceable. Yukon, Mitsuru-san, and all the others, imagining their faces causing a mysterious strength swell up from within me.
Have I gotten stronger?
Elizabeth smiles. She calmly returns to the conversation we had been having.
Whether you can accomplish your wish and your heartfelt promise is up to you. If you can't do it, no one else will be able to do it for you. But from a different perspective, that means that anything is possible depending on you. Don't you think it could be perceived that way?
If I do it.
That is correct. Though, it would be most important to prioritize overcoming the ordeal that is coming your way.
Huh? What ordeal? Isn't this just a dream?
The ordeal that has made itself known quite close by. I bid you good luck.
Wait, hold on. What's this ordeal you're talking about? What do you mean?
Goddamn alarm clocks! The announcement room begins to fade to white and disappear into the distance, and I hear a siren-like sound. As if in sync with the siren, Elizabeth begins to grow hazy as well.
Wait, you have to tell me more!
My own voice is lost in the warning sound that crashes over me like waves. I just need to talk to her, just a little more. The moment after everything goes white, the laboratory appears in my vision. An ear-piercing wailing sound fills the air. This is the real world.
You're finally up and running. Seriously, I am terrible with machines.
I look toward this voice and see an unfamiliar man in a black striped pin suit. The man looks frustrated as he fumbles with his case, disconnecting the wire leading from the terminals to my body.
So how about it? Can you move?
Who are you?
I'm Kurosawa, a police detective. Oh, do you know what a police detective is?
Kurosawa. I have no memory of this man, but for some reason I recognize his name. This must be the information this must be the information that was inserted into my knowledge database. Beginning personal scan, matching iris and voice print. Identified, Detective Kurosawa.
Oh, are you with Mitsuru-san and them?
Something like that.
Yeah. So the clue to clue load us in P3. Obviously, the Persona series is set in modern day Japan, and obviously you can't and obviously there's no weapon shop and armor shop. But what they did in P3 was rather interesting. You actually went to a police station to buy your equipment, and he was the one who sold them to you. Of course, he was a mere officer then. Now he's a detective.
I'll make this quick. There's an emergency. The car that the lady, that Mitsuru Kurijo was in, has gone missing.
Mitsuru-san? What do you mean?
An emergency? She went missing? Only after hearing this do I pause to re-examine my surroundings. That siren has been in response to these ongoing events. I'm unable to get a grasp of the situation and only become more confused.
We'll talk later. We need to get to the roof.
As he speaks, Detective Kurosawa tosses me a small bundle. I open it and find the Yasugami High uniform I've been wearing in my dream. Does he want me to wear this? Though I'm still perplexed, I put on the uniform Detective Kurosawa gave me and follow him as he runs to the stairway. I see that his gun is drawn, and he is bound. As we bound up the stairs, I desperately ask him the question boiling in my mind.
Kurosawa-san, are Mitsuru-san and the others okay? Who took them?
Go quietly. We've got to hurry here. We were being pursued, too.
I'm taken aback for a moment. The Shadow Operatives may be part of the National Police Agency, but their existence has been kept hidden from the civilian population. This lab's very existence should be hidden from ordinary people, and yet it is being attacked?
Enemies? Hey, I could...
Don't. The ones coming after us are human. On top of that, they're from public safety.
This only confuses me even more. What's going on here? The public safety group are at the very top of the National Police Agency Security Bureau. They should be on our side. Why would they be coming after us? I bite my lip in fear. I thought that I had finally met people who understood me, and that I finally had a place where I belong. Yet now that I've awakened, I'm being pursued by armed people once more. People who are supposed to be on our side at that. Painful memories of Yakushima return to my mind. I shake my head, trying to clear it out of these thoughts, but it's not that easy. At that moment, Detective Kurosawa speaks up, and we can see. And speaks up as he can see through my emotions.
It has to be tough, but bear with it. That's how you live, by fighting.
His words snapped me out of my reverie. That's right. The world isn't always filled with things like this. There are people who understand me and accept me, and they're all staying by my side. Had I not made my own decision, to protect these people?
Thanks, Kurosawa-san. Say, want to take a shortcut to the roof?
With that, I pick up Kurosawa-san and run ahead. I'm going to do everything I can.
Hey!
I jump and ignite the booster on my back and kick off the wall. Yeah, so Labrys's axe has jet engines on it. So she can use that either to strengthen her axe thrusts, or she can even use them to fly, because her axe can become a pair of wings too. It's a bit of a rough move, but I have determined that it's our best interest to proceed it's in our best interest to proceed as quickly as possible in this situation.
Here we go!
We shoot up the staircase with the next landing, where I kick the wall and again send us flying up the staircase in the opposite direction. I repeat this a number of times, rocketing us up the extremely long staircase and allowing us to reach the door to the rooftop in less than a minute.
You've got some nerve.
Sorry, but...
It's fine. Looks like I can trust you to get things done.
Detective Kurosawa seems painful, not painful, pale. But he still stands up as I see the strength of will in his eyes as he speaks to me. And I still see the strength of will in his eyes as he speaks to me.
Well, from here on, this is a battle that only you can fight.
When he opens the door slightly, the chilly air outside rushes in through the gap.
Putting their lives in your hands.
Kurosawa-san opens the door fully, and the wind whips at us.
Go on. Go now!
Don't worry, he'll cause him of this bitch.
Okay, Hikaru-san, let's go.
Looks like we managed to get away.
We got out in time. It's nice to meet you, Labras. I'm Yukari Takiba.
Oh, yes. I'm Kanemata. Wow, so it's true that you're like Aiga's-san. Oh, and this is Koromaru. Huh? A dog? He's not just a pet. Koromaru might not look like it, but he can fight as well.
Yeah, one of the members of the P3 crew is a dog. And he actually, his weapon of choice throughout P3 was he wielded a kunai in his mouth. Beginning personnel scans. Everyone on this helicopter seems to be a member of the Shadow Operatives. According to the new data I was given during my repairs, they are all Mitsuru-san's friends since high school. These people are all comrades who have fought alongside Mitsuru-san and each other.
Takeba-san? You're dressed in a interesting way.
Huh? Oh, this? Yeah, I got picked up suddenly from my job, and I didn't have any time to change. I bet I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Also, you can just call me Yukari. I hope we get along, Labras.
But to think that organization would come after us now at such an important time. If Kurosawa-san hadn't gotten that tip, we'd be doomed.
Hey, right. What's going on with those guys? Who are they again? Public safety?
Oh, that's right. You don't know.
Kenkun politely explains the situation to me. Some people in the public safety department don't think well of the Shadow Operatives. When Mitsuru-san and the others went missing, public safety took advantage of this confusion and attempted to take control over the Shadow Operatives' headquarters. They have been trying to remove Mitsuru-san from her position and showed up at the lab in an attempt to confiscate me for evidence. To move this quickly after she disappeared, though, public safety must have some way of knowing what's going on within the Shadow Operatives.
They say Mitsuru-san set everything up. She would never.
I can't understand it either. All this about honor and adult circumstances is foolish.
Yeah, but there are some people in public safety who don't agree with that. Or else Kurosawa-san wouldn't have gotten that anonymous tip.
Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if Kurosawa-san's okay.
That's okay. He's got Kazuma's skill set. He'll just beat everyone up and slam them into walls and hit them with bicycles.
Koromaru says that he's all right.
Huh? Can you understand dogs too, Yukari-san?
Well, no, but I've known Koromaru for a while, and that just seems like what he's saying. I'm sure Kurosawa-san will be just fine.
Koromaru-san's white fur reminds me of something. Snowy, my friend who I met on that southern island. I can tell from Yukari-san's words that all the other people here in this helicopter know each other very well.
So where are we going now anyway? We're gonna go look for Mitsuru-san and them, right?
Right. It looks like there was an increased shadow reading someplace called Inaba, and they were headed there. We'll go that way for now.
Inaba.
That's right. This could be the continuation of the events from yesterday, an ordeal. Elizabeth's word... continuation of the events from yesterday, an ordeal. Elizabeth's words from my dream echo in my mind.
So gloomy. I'm sure Mitsuru-senpai's fine. She's got Akihiko-senpai, Fuka, and even Aigus with her after all. Oh, right. You're Aigus' sister, aren't you?
Again, there shouldn't be an S after that apostrophe, but...
Yeah, that's right. I was made just before her, though.
You seem so stiff. You don't need to be so polite with us.
I heard that you were an earlier model than Aiga's-san, but you don't seem less advanced at all. You seem perfectly normal. Do you fight with that axe you're carrying? Could I touch it?
The two of them are interacting with me quite normally, even though they know I'm a machine. This isn't their first rodeo. Even though they must know what happened in Inaba and about my past. That acceptance makes me happy. Koromaru-san is gazing intently at me too.
Yukari-san, have you been able to make contact with Iori-san?
Yes, a maid is flying this helicopter. A voice from the cockpit interrupts us. Kikuno-san, Mitsuru-san's maid, is in the pilot seat. She seems demure, but if she can pilot a helicopter like this, her skills seem to know no limits. But I've been told that Kikuno-san isn't a Persona user. Isn't it dangerous for her to come with us in a situation like this?
I completely forgot. Hold on a sec.
Yukari-san pulls out her cell phone. It seems they are trying to meet with Junpei Iori, another part-time shadow operative and also fellow comrade since high school. While Yukari-san is on the phone, I decide to ask Kikuno-san about the doubts I have.
Saikawa-san, you're not a Persona user, are you?
Please call me Kikuno. And no, I only have the potential towards the Dark Hour.
Oh, I didn't know you had that. Even the maids in the Kirijo family are amazing. So that means you can't fight shadows, right? Then ain't it dangerous for you to come along?
Again, I hope they expand on her in P3R. If I have the correct information, then the grotesque monsters known as shadows, our enemies, can only be defeated by people who can use personas. In other words, since Kikuno-san is an ordinary human, she could never defeat a shadow, even if she was the most proficient and warrior in the world. If she ever encountered a shadow of her own, Kikuno-san would face immediate death. And yet she smiles warmly as she answers me.
There are more ways to deal with shadows than the direct method. We've never met in person, but I was involved in the operation to rescue you last time. We all do whatever we can to the best of our abilities to fulfill the roles we've been given. That is what it means to fight.
Wow, she's a true professional.
To be honest, I don't understand. True, Kikuno-san is helping us by piloting this helicopter for us. But if that's all it took, then someone could easily program me with the ability to fly the helicopter, and there would be no need for Kikuno-san to be exposed to the danger of having to join in this operation. I can't think of any other words to say, and I look away from her. I end up meeting Ken-kun's eyes, and I feel a little awkward.
It's no use, he's not picking up. This is so important. Why now?
That's Junpei. Yukari-san puts down her phone and turns to us again. Everyone's attention returns to getting up to speed with the current situation.
We'll just have to begin our search on our own.
You know, Kikuno-san, I'm surprised you knew where we were without having to contact us at all.
I traced the GPS signals from your cell phones. We're still partners with the police force, so it's no problem to do that in an emergency. Then again, we've just seen how even that doesn't always help.
You mean about Junpei-san?
Yep.
It's like he's going out of his way to inconvenience.
That's Junpei. He's always bungling like an expert. Yukari-san's side is with an exasperated expression. As I reflect that this Junpei appears to be some kind of odd person, Kikuno-san taps her armrest as if remembering something.
Oh dear, I almost forgot. Labra-san, please review these documents until we arrive at our destination.
With that, Kikuno-san hands me a folder.
San asked me to tell you about this, but under the circumstances, would you please look through the material on your own?
As I flip through the documents in the thick file, I notice certain names appearing again and again. Mitsuru, Akihiko, and the names of everyone here. What is this?
summary of the activities that took place 3 years ago.
3 years ago? You must mean... I see. Whoever's behind what's going on is definitely connected to those events.
3 years ago refers to the incident leading to Mitsuru-san and the rest meeting one another. I haven't had a chance to go over the detail, but supposedly it's the case that became the impetus for Mitsuru to establish the Shadow Operatives. And the bond that they have formed among each other. They were nurtured through the battles they took part in back then. And such deep connections look radiant in my eyes. I decided that it's important that I learn about what happened then. And as important as learning more about more about who or whatever is behind the events going on now. If I just wanted information on it, I could easily transfer that data directly into my memory. But by actively reading it like this, I will be able to understand what happened. Her thoughtfulness of treating me the same as a person makes me happy. Again, not their first rodeo. Kikuno-san glances at me once more and nods slightly, as if in approval.
I think it looks good on you. A proper appearance is important when going out on a grand stage.
Does she mean the uniform I'm wearing? Oh, I get it. She must have been the one who prepared the Yasagami uniform and that Kurosawa-san gave me. Her sudden compliment is a little embarrassing, but I can't help but smile. I mean, this uniform, to me, is proof of my connection to Yukon and his friends. Kikuno-san reacts with a small smile. She produces some other items.
Ken-san, I have acquired evokers and suitable weapons for you.
Okay, so for Lotus Prince's benefit here, evokers are like gun-shaped, are like special items used that are required as a kind of aid to summon personas. Because you can only summon personas under extreme under different circumstances, and it's kind of difficult to do it normally. So evokers are used to kind of like force it out. And in order to do that, most of them are shaped like guns, and basically you emulate shooting yourself in order to work it. Though oddly enough, that's only the explanation and the localization, and probably because the real explanation was a no-no, because in the original Japanese they were actual guns. Yeah, that's a general evoker.
This would be the best for me.
Yeah, Ken uses a spear. Ken takes a spear from Kikuno-san and sits back with a satisfied expression. The spear is longer than Ken and is tall, but he seems confident. Wouldn't such a weapon be too unwieldy for him to handle? Yeah, Ken was pretty smart. He chose the spear as a weapon because like he figured the link would compensate for his lack of height.
Kikuno-san, what is this?
And Yukari took archery, so her weapon is a bow. Kikuno hands Yukari-san what appears to be a large pink bow that perfectly matches as the suit she's wearing. Upon seeing it, Yukari looks baffled.
It's the ultimate arrow!
It's so pink. I acquired reference material from the publisher and had it made. Don't worry, it's more functional than the prop on your show.
Again, for Lotus's benefit, Yukari right now is a model and an actress. and she's actually acting on the latest season of Featherman, which is like a fictional Sentai, a fictional Sentai universe, a fictional Sentai series within the Persona universe.
I'm pretty sure that makes it the best bow ever created, but...
In actual combat, I thought that using a form factor you're comfortable with would be best.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to have a logical explanation like that.
Was my arrangement unnecessary?
Yeah, it was unnecessary. No, it's fine.
I like it. Can I see it for a moment?
As Kenkun reaches toward the bow with interest, I sense the helicopter tilt slightly to the side. Yeah, Ken's a fan of the Featherman series.
We're circling around. Please hang on to something.
The helicopter leans more sharply as Kakuna speaks. It seems that we need to take on more fuel before we reach Inaba. I reflect on Elizabeth's words as I look down on the view spreading out below us. It reminds me of that mysterious sea-like place. The air in the helicopter is heavy. Upon reaching the last known location of Mitsuru-san and the others, we immediately see the guardrail is broken, as if a car smashed through it. We look down the cliff and discover a black vehicle below. Unmistakably, Mitsuru-san unmistakably Mitsuru-san's limousine. There were no skid marks on the road, and that indicated braking, and the car's body was seriously damaged. It appears that it had been going at a very high rate of speed when it hit the barrier. Everyone paled in an instant, and we were all at a loss for words. But the driver was the only person in the vehicle, and though he was injured, there was no traces of blood from anyone other than him in the car. We wondered for a moment if the others had been able to leave the vehicle on their own, but if they had, they would have tried to contact us. It also seemed odd that they left an unconscious and injured man behind. Furthermore, there were no footprints around the vehicle at all. They did another search on their GPS. We did another search on their GPS signal, but there were no signs of their whereabouts. That left us with only one conclusion.
Think about it. But does this mean that they've been captured?
Let us be optimistic and assume that they're still alive. If they were captured, then the enemy values their lives and will do no harm. We do have a chance.
I carried the injured driver to the bottom of the cliff, back up from the bottom of the cliff back up to the road. Kakuno-san requested a vehicle to transport him to the hospital under the Kirijo family's care. Kikuno-san made this decision since we wouldn't have been able to explain what happened to a normal ambulance. Also, it's possible that the people from public safety would take him away if we reported this to the authorities. Kikuno-san asked the personnel to arrive in the transport and who arrived with the transport to ask the driver about what happened when he regained his consciousness. That will likely be difficult, however. This is similar to what had happened last time. The driver would have no memories of the events, much like the people who captured me and transported me to Inaba last time. However, there's no guarantee that the same had happened to the limousine driver. Not long after, we were back in the helicopter, which takes us to where we are now. To be honest, everyone's at a loss about how bad the situation is. Ken-kun tries to change the topic in an attempt to divert us from our worries.
It's amazing that you know how to pilot a helicopter, Kikuno-san. I heard that it's hard to hover in the mountains. Did you train for that?
Only a couple of years ago, but I have taken part in an assault operation involving a helicopter.
Again, I want to know this woman's story.
You were in an assault with a helicopter? Where?
Just a high school dormitory.
Huh? Oh yeah, I remember that.
What?
I decided to learn how to pilot in the event that if someone attempted the same move, I would be able to respond properly.
My understanding has been renewed. It seems that being a maid is a very serious and difficult occupation.
Oh, damn. Well, I finally got in touch with Junpei. I don't know why, but he's already at Yaso Inaba Station, so I told him to stay there.
He's not going to stay there.
In any case,
It's
we should
Junpei.
head to Inaba too. We might find some kind of clue there.
Mitsuru-san's group had gone missing before sunset. It's almost midnight now.
Whoever did this must be the same person who kidnapped Labra-san. It's unthinkable anyone else would be able to do that.
This really needs to end soon?
The question is what he intends to accomplish by kidnapping them.
Ken-kun flips through the report that's on the event and to the case up until now. What is to be gained by kidnapping Mitsuru-san this time? At that moment, a heavy static flickers across as the video flickers across the video displays within the helicopter.
The strong win, while the weak
Here we go.
Tonight, we will witness the hottest battles in all history. The goddess of victory is waiting to descend upon the ring. P1 fans, are you ready? Are you ready?
Time to let loose! An all-out war!
The contestants in the previous P1 Grand Prix have returned for another tournament, right on the heels of the last one. These warriors will create another legend here at the world-shattering P1 Ring! These are battles of honor, battles of will. Sparks will fly. Some fight for pride, some fight for glory. Will this be decided by pure muscle, or will a battle of wits determine the outcome? Things are heating up! Tonight, who will win the title of champion? Who will be crowned with the winner's wreath? Whose tale of glory will resound for generations? All that remains are the dreams of the warriors. As the Grand Prix plunges into its final chapter, the P1 climax is...
Barely getting started!
Hey, what was that just now? Weren't those the persona users in Inaba? It showed Mitsuru-senpai and the others, too.
I read the case records. If I recall correctly, was that the Midnight Channel that was being broadcast in Inaba? I was on it too, but it wasn't like that last time.
All of us in the helicopter are utterly confused. Who would broadcast something like that, and why? The P1 climax. It's obviously a continuation of the fighting tournament. Suddenly, the monitor switches to another feed.
Yoo-hoo! Have you been well, Labi-chan?
General Teddy? But I thought I already...
General Teddy, in the recent P1 Grand Prix, I called the one calling itself General Teddy turned out to be my own shadow. But I accepted my shadow and gained the power of a persona. But if he is on the screen again, then General Teddy ignores my confusion and continues.
There's no way I'd go away so easily. I mean, a P1 without me is like a tuna sandwich without the tuna.
Yeah, this couldn't possibly be a completely different General Teddy that is just some kind of villain taking on Teddy's form for some odd reason, because because apparently he had the same idea to make everyone cringe.
He can hear us? Isn't he that weird persona user named Teddy?
No, he must be the General Teddy who hosted the fighting tournament last time. The record said he'd been eliminated, though. General Teddy, where did you take Mitsuru-san and the others? If you don't give us a good answer, you're gonna pay!
It's past your bedtime, Cubby. If you're gonna keep giving me lip, I'm not going to explain anything.
Explain?
That's right. I mean, the three of you are very important guest stars in the P1 Climax, after all. So you'll participate, of course.
What? What are you after?
If you value the lives of the hostages, you yapping pup, you don't have any choice but to participate.
Huh?
The P1 Climax. It's the end of the world. One-on-one death match that's worthy of the name Climax. And best of all, if you don't win the one-on-one tournament to the finish within the hour, the world will end. No punches pulled this time. I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can. Alrighty then. Time to show off how that special stage is going.
The video feed switches to something else.
Was that Mitsuru-senpai?
Sanada-san, Aiga-san, and Fuka-san too!
What will be the fate of our captured queen and her loyal minions? Oh, and this is a no-fly zone. We don't have any room in the parking lot for that thing, so you'd better start walking to the battleground. As a little incentive, Persona! Kintoki Doji! Throw him a tomahawk!
With that one last command from General Teddy, the monitor turns off. After a moment of silence, Kakuno-san shouts from the cockpit.
No. There really is a missile coming our way. Evasive maneuvers. Brace yourselves.
A missile? Ah!
As soon as Kakuno-san shouts, the helicopter makes a sharp turn, and we're all thrown to the side. There's a deafening roar, and the helicopter shakes madly, but recovers.
Only hit? It barely missed, but there's a good chance that it will still detonate.
It exploded! Wait, it's a firework?
In the moments after the explosion, General Teddy's face was drawn in the sky with colorful sparks. It even managed to capture his image, taunting us with his tongue sticking out.
He obviously missed on purpose. It was most likely fired from the direction of Inaba.
That is not funny at all! Is he trying to start a war or something? Wait, what is that?
There's something in the distance. It's huge!
Yukari-san points toward the shape of a gigantic building stretching towards the sky. Something red is writhing around that bizarre structure, trying to envelop the town below it. It's red fog.
I'll zoom in.
Kakuno-san adjusts the monitor that had just been displaying General Teddy's laughing face to show it as the enormous structure up ahead. I notice Yukari-san and Ken-kun both tense up, and they tense up when they catch sight of it. Yeah, so that's Tartarus.
No way. This is just like Tartarus.
Named after one of the sections of the underworld in Greek mythology, Tartarus was a sprawling tower in P3 that reached so far high up, it literally took a year to climb. Searching data for Tartarus, results found. A labyrinth that only appears during the dark hour, and a breeding ground for shadows. It was also the place where a powerful being was going to descend upon the world to bring about destruction. The documents in my hand have a page dedicated to it as well. What I read there confounds me. 3 years ago, when Mitsuru-san and her companions were in high school, something happened there. All I can gather is that they fought desperately in a tower called Tartarus that resembled the one outside. As the red fog grows thicker, the building that Ken-kun and Yukari-san and referred to as Tartarus begins to disappear from our view.
I'm sorry to do this, but I have to withdraw before we're shot down.
But we've come so far!
If they fire another one at us, I won't be able to dodge again. Even if it's only a firework, a direct hit can still bring us down.
Hold on, Kikuno-san. Can you drop low enough somewhere so we can get out?
There's no way. If we land, we'll be sitting ducks.
No, once we're out, you get out of here. You don't need to land.
What are you saying?
Please, do it. Don't worry. Remember, General Teddy asked us to come on foot. We'll manage somehow.
Understood. I'm looking for a landing site. There appears to be a large shopping center nearby.
While dodging explosions from missiles flying mercilessly towards us, the helicopter nosedives, plunging us towards the ground and as we move closer to Inaba.
Labra-san, please take this. It may be of use. It contains the data that was taken from the Ergonomics Research Laboratory's top-secret files. The creator's name is Shuji Ikutsuki.
Wait, does it go on a PSP? Kuji Ikutsuki. That name was also in the documents that Kikuno had given me. He betrayed Mitsuru-san at the last moment 3 years ago and revealed himself to be an enemy. Ever since the death of Koetsu Kirijo, the patriarch of the Kirijo family 2 generations ago, this man took the lead in terrible events relating to the shadows. That is how dangerous this man is, but the documents also say that Ikutsuki took his own life.
The file name was Project Puppet Master. I'm not entirely sure if that's a code or a description of the project.
Puppet Master? Could that be something to do with me and Aigis?
I was only able to decrypt a portion of it, but it seems to be data on an experiment involving a plume of dusk.
An experiment with a plume of dusk. So, why are you giving this to me?
It may assist you in determining the enemy's identity. Actually, I found traces of an unauthorized attempt to access this file from outside of the Ergo Research Network. I investigated this and found that the requests made to break in originated from this vicinity, likely from within Inaba itself.
Huh? So someone in Inaba knew about that research before all this started and was looking for it?
Kikuno nodded silently. Of all the files of the quarantined server to go after, this one was specifically targeted when the hacker when the hacker must at least have known known of its presence there. The cyber attack wasn't done by some ordinary hacker who broke onto the server and was looking around out of curiosity, which means that the hacker is probably either the culprit himself or someone connected to them.
The firewall prevented the intruder from accessing the file, but the attempted hacker didn't even try to cover their tracks.
What? Who would do this?
Excuse me. The hacker didn't even attempt to cover their access to the server. Could that mean that they wanted someone to know about the existence of this file, even if they failed to access it? That doesn't make much sense. Putting aside whatever doubts we have, Kikuno-san continues on.
Only in fragments, but the name Sho Minazuki appears many times in those files.
Who is he?
Sho Minazuki. I don't know that name. Could that person be the culprit? At the very least, there's no mistake that this person is deeply related to this case.
I'll contact you once we crack the encryption, but in case it becomes difficult to transfer the data to you, I'll give you a copy.
Then I'll download that data into myself and take a look at the parts that you've managed to decrypt.
That would be for the best.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Kikuno-san hands me a memory card. I insert it into my memory slot and save the data into my internal memory. Just as Kikuno-san says, most of it is experiment records. One file remains that cannot be read. Project Puppet Master. What's in that file?
We'll be over
Oh, come
at the
on!
shopping center in a moment. Everyone, prepare to disembark.
Hold on, over there. Isn't there someone on the rooftop?
We all peer into the distance. Beyond the haze of the red fog is Inaba's largest shopping center. My search revealed that the place belongs to a chain named Juness. A blurry figure can vaguely be seen on the roof. Yukon? For a moment, I think of someone I know well, but the height and physique of the shape on the roof doesn't resemble anyone I know. Kenkun raises a pair of binoculars and attempts to make out the signature's face.
That's impossible.
The signature's face? Figure's face. I read that wrong.
Huh? What's wrong?
It's Ikutsuki.
Huh? No way.
Suji Ikusuki? The name leaves me at a loss for words. Perhaps he is mistaken. I open the side door of the helicopter, and a strong gust of wind blows in. I ignore the wind and lean in out to get a better look at the person on the roof. The helicopter is suddenly attacked from an unexpected direction. The vehicle sways alarmingly. That wasn't another missile. When I look again, I see another shape standing near the figure on the roof. I knew it.
We're under attack by a persona.
That doesn't make sense. According to the record, Shuji Akutsuki was never able to use a persona. Is that man on the roof truly this Akutsuki person?
The enemy's preparing for another attack. Incoming!
Before I can raise an objection, Yukari-san fixes has her eyes on the enemy and draws her evoker. As expected from someone who had been in actual combat for a whole year, she is quick to act. Yukari-san's finger flexes around the trigger of her evoker, but in the instant before she pulls it, Yukari-san's persona appears, creating a whirlwind around the helicopter that repels the attacker.
What? I didn't even use my evoker yet.
Seeing Yukari-san so bewildered sends a chill down my spine. Being able to summon a persona without the necessary tool to aid in summoning. Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san reported a similar unpleasant experience when inside the TV world. But this isn't inside the TV world. As outlandish and threatening as the situation is, there is no doubt there is no doubt that we're in the real world. General Teddy's words come back to me.
I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can.
Don't tell me. This fog was enveloping the town. This fog that's enveloping the town is the same fog on the other side of the TV?
What was that?
A new voice suddenly reaches my ears. Who was that? I look around in bewilderment. Did anyone actually talk? Am I hearing things? Kenkun shout snaps me out of my thoughts.
He's winding up for another one. We're getting off, Koromaru.
Hikari-san still looked confused, but Kenkun notices something and unbuckles his seatbelt with his spear at the ready. By this time, the helicopter has descended close enough to the roof of Junes that people and dogs can close enough to the roof of Junes that people and dogs can easily jump down. And that's Koromaru's persona, Cerberus. Koromaru growls and another persona appears. At the same time, Kenkun leaps out of the cabin, stabbing at the enemy persona closing in on us. Koromaru-san's persona and Kenkun's spear both hit the attacking enemy at the same time, and Kenkun drops to the roof unharmed.
It seems you're always taking on the responsibility of saving others, Yukari-san.
Seriously, it's like, again? Really? But aren't you this one? After all, I save the world on a weekly basis.
Koromaru-san and Yukari-san drop out of the helicopter and nimbly land on the roof. Amazing. Their combat abilities are equal to those of weapons like me or Igus, even though they are secondary members of the Shadow Operatives, used only in times of emergency. It seems as if they've been on the team this entire time. I quickly ready my axe and follow them.
Yukari-san, everyone, please, save Lady Mitsuru.
Oh, come on! Okay, I'm going to have to call it here. This has gone on way too long as it is. Just see if we can. Yeah, I have to cut. I have to cut it here. This has gone on longer than this has gone on longer than I intended as it is.
Persona 4 Arena. Ultimax.
And I really don't want to stay up any longer. Okay then, thank you all so much for watching. I oh no, wait. So yeah, we are done with the P4 story and we are moving on with P3. I will do one more of these next week, if given. But the week after that, I am going to set up a Christmas stream because it'll be Christmas Eve that Sunday. So with that done, let us set up a raid. No. Um... Well, why not? Let's raid Void Taffy, who's doing art right now. Give us something chill to end on. Okay then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you like my stuff and you haven't already, please leave a follow. It helps me as a small VTuber. And you can also check my socials over there. And I also upload all my stuff on YouTube. So then, next week, I'll come out... I'll come out with the schedule, but it shouldn't be much different, and we'll be continuing with Fate Samurai Remnant on Friday. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. This is Metis Balaska signing out.